messy cumulative review of the last thing, the last Delirium up.
Okay, we are rolling.
All right. Did somebody else want to start us off and I can fill in blanks? Do you just want me to kind of talk through it?
Everyone's fine. So,
Go ahead, Danny.
Reagan,
I have pages like 2.
What was that?
Reagan's trying to find her notes.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay. We left Kessa. The prince is going to stay dead for now. Like, dead. Oh, we have a letter to deliver to a gnome lady.
Is that one of the letters that was given to us
By Kessa.
by Kessa?
I'm glad you had that part because I did not.
We decide that we're going to deliver the letter and go to the mines first. Change of plans. Nope, taking an airship to the mines.
Oh, that's right. To deal with them digging up the memories.
Yeah, we're going to do that first. Eden gave performance. We got some money. I bought some stuff. While we're on the road, a creature runs off, leaving a body behind that looks like it's had all the blood and water sucked out of it. Paul puts the body in the cart. We go back into the woods to try to track the creature. This crazy goblin person tries to steal our cart. We tie up the goblin and take it to the sheriff's office after Paul and Grim fight. We made it to the town. Take the body and the Grim to the sheriff's office. Grim is arrested.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the basic rundown. Does anybody have anything to add? I think that does generally cover all of the at least important beats there.
I'm still pissed I didn't get those boots.
You gave them back to him.
I was trying to get Nate's character to join the party, okay? I didn't want him to get arrested or be killed. I wanted him to be able to play his character. He literally
such a nice guy.
But strike me with lightning one time.
I know.
He tried to steal my horse.
You abandoned it.
I did not.
No, I'm not sure that any of that works that way, Nate. But I guess you've already figured that out by now.
The law of finders keepers does not apply.
Yes, no, that's not how any of this works. So yeah, that is roughly where we left off. Oh, Steven, you look so sad.
I think Eden is gone forever.
No!
Oh, no!
So we need 2 new characters now.
Well, at least you
Don't worry, I
probably
got it.
know enough about Eden that you can recreate it.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry, I know that's a pain in the butt.
that's okay.
Good, a good lesson to remind all of us to maybe take a picture of our character sheet.
Never a bad idea. Never a bad idea.
Just go ahead and do
like every one of my characters except Eden.
That's about right. That's about right. Okay. So indeed, you guys took Grim over to to where he is now sitting in jail. The next morning, I assume you guys are just heading straight over to try and find passage to the mines.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
You were definitely staying in a place that was not the pinnacle of comfort, but it did the trick. It wasn't horrible either. So you managed to.
I think that Eden stayed in the cart with.
I think
Kevin?
so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Largely because it was meh, and he was unimpressed. But you're able to have a pretty uneventful night's sleep, and you wake the next day, and you can go on about your business now in whatever order of things you need to do. So if there's anything that you want to do before you head to find things out, uh, that is fine. Where to?
If you guys are ready, I say we go to the docks and go ahead and get aboard ship and start heading that way.
Is that the plan?
Works for me.
Probably, yeah.
All right. Um, so as you guys leave the hotel room, there's a man waiting kind of in the common room area of the inn. Nate, go ahead and describe your character.
Okay. So I went ahead and put a picture in the on the Facebook chat so everybody can look. And he's very pretty. Not gonna lie.
He's pretty.
Pretty boy.
Yeah.
No taking
He's
your
very,
stick.
very well kept. He takes care of himself. He definitely dresses well. If you look closely, you can, or if you noticed or no, his colors are very distinct. Okay, it's very much green and like gold. Um, I don't know if you would know or not, but those are actually the colors of the police area, and so it's very much you can tell that he is a lawman. Um, and he got the long white hair. He's got white eyes and stuff. Pretty much doesn't take any crap from anybody. But yeah, he is very much a lawman, and he is out on a mission.
And you actually have been informed of these newcomers into town by the sheriff. I forget if like how I set up that structure, but I think it was the sheriff. Um, that they were that they had come and had told you about this thing that happened as far as the body in the cart, and the ridiculous goblin that they took in that you have now questioned, and gotten to know a little bit more about. And you're trying to put two and two together between this string of murders that has kind of been happening between Emerald City and Two Rivers Run, and the strange things that have happened here with the new body turning up. And while it doesn't seem that this group of people has anything to do with the cause of this, it seems like maybe you could get some more information being around them, as there is a little bit of, like, they have more information than you do on whatever this thing was, just by having been there. And both of these locations that murders have happened, well, actually, all of the locations throughout, there have also been stories of a bard that matches Eden's description pretty closely at all of those locations a few days prior to anything else going amok. So while there's nothing necessarily linking the two parties together as far as, or the party to the murders, evidence wise, it at least seems like there might be a connection somehow. So they are exiting the rooms, and you have this information and have been told that perhaps they would uh, be amicable to speaking with you. You can take that and do what you will with it before they get out the door.
So I will approached him and said, "Excuse me, you find people. Let me allow myself to introduce myself. My name is Gildale. I am a lawman. I'm doing an investigation on a couple of murders and some other weird things going on. And you, I just recently interviewed the goblin guy you just brought in. That was an interesting guy. Anyways, forgot where I was going with this.
It's a problem.
But yeah, but no, I was given your group's description and just wanted to say that I am investigating everything with the goblin and the body and all that stuff, and it seems like I've been told that we might be headed in the same direction. So I might be asking you a few questions, might be tagging along, and yeah, I think that's about it.
So, what you want to join us? Is what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying we're probably headed in the same direction, and while we are uh, traveling together, I may ask you a few more questions about things going on, stuff like that, and I don't know. We'll just see what goes from there.
Do you have a badge?
You actually would have a badge.
I'll reach into inside my robe and I'll pull out an official. Um, it's like a national, like kind of like a U.S. Marshal would be, but yeah,
So
I'll
this is like
pretend.
continental military.
there you
I'll
go.
pretend to be able to read the badge. Looks official. Looks official.
What did you say your name was again?
Gildale,
Ildel or Gildel?
Gil, Gildail,
Nice to meet you, Gail Bell.
and you are
My name,
yes,
Paul.
Paul. Pleasure to meet you. And who are your friends?
I don't have friends.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, and also I guess Eden and Tevin wouldn't be there right now. They're still in the cart. But so yeah, Thea's right next to him. It's like, I don't have friends.
I'll just kind of interrupt, like, I won't tell Eden you said that. I'm Thea.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Gildale, and I'll give you a little bow.
So yeah, I mean, we can answer whatever questions you have. The little goblin man tried to take our cart, and we stopped him, and that's why we brought him in.
You should know that the new member of the party has to buy breakfast.
What's that so?
Yeah. It's a rule.
I like that rule.
Very well then. I will get us breakfast.
There's two more, I guess technically three more of us.
Yeah,
So
I guess more,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
more
So
Crom would
5.
be there too.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they'll stumble in here in a few minutes.
It just growls at you. Like, if you had to look at anybody that you've seen in this group so far and assume that they were probably a murderer, it would probably be more Crom. So, yeah. All right.
I'll go get food for 6 of us.
And I'll use the message jewelry to be like, hey guys, we got breakfast. If you want to come on in.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were eating bacon and coffee still.
You can bring the bacon and coffee, but we've got something
Oh no,
else.
Paul's already eating bacon.
Like,
Pocket
as
bacon.
Yeah.
I love the
Paul-
idea that Nate's character is going and getting breakfast, and like Paul is just eating it while he's ordering breakfast, just staring at him. That's fabulous.
And just
Alright, I'll
as
be
they're
right
walking in, I'll just give them a heads up that I guess a sheriff or a police officer is here and has some questions for us.
Oh, good. What did we do this time?
I mean, he hadn't accused us of anything yet, so nothing we got caught.
It's a good start.
And don't forget the
Okay.
ale when you get breakfast. Breakfast ale is important.
Oh, of course, of course. And I'll make sure there's drinks all around.
This guy is a race that you guys aren't as familiar with. He's a Kalashtar, so it's he looks kind of exotic for the area.
Are you
But
tall, short?
I don't know, probably average height. Probably like what a human would be. So I don't know, 5'8" maybe, 5'9".
so yeah,
Regular size.
he has you guys procured breakfast when you all gather together.
Pick up my ale and I sit down and I look him and I say, "So what questions do you have?" And just start drinking my ale.
Eden will also be like periodically pulling bacon out of his bag and munching on it.
You are quieter than everybody else. Let me see if I can turn.
I am.
Yeah. Is
Uh,
that
New
true with everybody
individual.
else, or is that mine?
No, he's quiet. He's quieter on ours too. How bad? Like, well, the bacon's probably what, only 2 days old at this point, or
Yeah.
a day old.
I can fix that.
What? There's nothing to fix.
Well, I'm just like, I can purify food.
Oh.
So
Oh,
I had that one up my sleeve for a minute.
I mean the coffee probably needs it, but the bacon is fine.
I too can purify food.
Figured another day or two, and then the pocket bacon was going to need a refresh.
Probably.
All right, Brown Eyes. What do you need from us?
Okay. So, I'm not really too concerned about the goblin. He's just an idiot. More importantly, I want to talk to you about this body you found, and want to go more into details about that. Like, how did you come across the dead body to begin with? Just want to verify what I was told.
Oh, we come across dead bodies all the time.
It was on the side
Oh,
of the
really?
road. It was on the side of the road as we were passing by, and we saw some movement near it, and it ran away, and we picked up the body. It's actually still in the cart, right?
No, we gave it to the sheriff with his belongings.
Yeah,
That's right. That's
yeah.
right. But yes, we picked him up and brought him here for burial rites and things. So.
It's as we were trying to track down whatever movement we saw that the goblin tried to steal my horse and cart.
Did you get a good look at what the thing was you were checking?
Did not. No.
It was small. It was
Something.
fast.
Oh, yeah.
Small and fast.
Ooh,
Okay. Small and fast.
my wife is making brownies, I think. I smell it.
Ooh.
I'm slow cooking ribs. That's what I'm smelling.
Nice.
Had to smell them
Okay.
already in torture.
It's a slow death.
So just tracking down the movement, it was small and fast, but did not get a good look. Okay, and okay, so you say you come across dead bodies all the time. That seems a
All the
little odd,
time.
though.
It's amazing. We found some people in pickle barrels not long ago. That was pretty cool.
Unfortunately, in the line of work that we have all found ourselves in, adventuring and whatnot, we've come across a few dead bodies, not a ton.
I've seen a lot of dead bodies.
Well,
You've made a lot of dead bodies, to
I
be
have
fair.
made a lot of dead bodies.
Really, you're a fighter. You like to fight people.
It's what I do.
He was part of the big battle that saved the world.
Okay. Okay, so and it was Paul, right? That's your name.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me just put this down in my notes. Paul caused a lot of bodies, and
A
yeah,
lot.
a lot. Okay, I'll make sure to emphasize that.
That's awesome.
I pointed
This is-
Eden's plate. I'm like, you gonna finish that?
It's all yours.
Bam.
You say bam.
Yeah, I'd say bam, bam.
Okay. Okay. So what? At some point, did you go through like Two Rivers Run and what's the other one? Maldi. Uh, did you steal a lot of bodies there too?
No,
Aren't we into Rivers?
no.
No. You were
That was where
in
we
Middle Blue.
landed
Why do
Oh,
I?
when we first got off the ship. Was in Two Rivers Run.
Okay, so when you passed through there, everything was just normal. Nothing really happened there.
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Alrighty, and then one last question. I understood it was relayed to me that you had another person in your party, your traveling group, a person that went by the name of Pyron.
who?
Mm-hmm.
Pyron.
I don't recognize that name.
You
Oh,
remember Pirate?
what did Paul know him as? Local?
Local, yeah.
Local.
Oh, local dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Okay. Do you keep in contact with him? Have you heard from him?
No, actually, we lost contact with him relatively recently. Wait a minute.
He might be dead.
Eden's gonna reach in his bag and pull out the sending stone.
It's like glowing on a
Don't we have
pretty
something?
regular basis.
Hello? Is there someone who might have found our friend Pyron here?
So you get this message that has been just kind of logged in the sending stone.
I'm sorry, voicemail box is full.
Pretty
The
so
person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
you hear Callan's voice over that, and it's definitely been something in the past that has been recorded into this in the hopes that you would hear it when he said it. But you hear this thing of, I found tracks that I believe are belong to your friend. I am tracking him back the direction that you came from. We could be in some amount of trouble. Um, I'll I'll tell you
At least
more
it
as I
wasn't
have
true.
it.
Like, oh my god, help me, please.
I'll tell you more as I know more, but I do expect that there might be some trouble ahead legally. I think that we can sort some of this out, but it's not going to be pretty for a moment. Your friend is very, very unwell. Um, and
Very, very what?
unwell.
Unwell. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's another one. I haven't heard from you yet. I just wanted to touch base and let you know that I am tracking him now off continent. The last I was able to get of him, I didn't quite get there soon enough, but he has recently been in Two Rivers Run, and I am taking ship from here, trying to find his next location. But I do anticipate that I know what it is, and will let you know as soon as I have confirmed. And that's the last one that you've gotten.
How does this thing work?
I
Yes,
mean, the
I'm
last rock I had, I just licked it until it got shiny. So
here. Lick like right between my fingers, like right lick this
grab
part
the
here.
stone and just pop it in my mouth.
No.
Now you hear Callan's voice in your head too. Low key,
Woo!
I'm not even sure that I actually that's how sending stones work, but that's how this one does. So, yeah, you make contact with it. Now you're hearing Callan's his
Just
voice
open up my
saying the
mouth
same
and
thing.
like a little projector, like the speaker system. Oh,
You hear nothing except Paul going, "Ugh," but Paul hears it amplify in his head as he does this.
Um, so apparently the person we helped to fight the spiders, his name is Kellen. He's apparently tracking Pyron. Pyron has apparently gotten himself into some legal trouble and is very sick. He's still trying to find him. Apparently, he went through Two Rivers Run and is headed somewhere else now.
Okay then.
This sounds promising.
Here, and Eden will like take a bunch of cloth and like, here, Paul, just put it back in here.
yeah.
Yeah, do any of you have the identify spell?
Uh,
I do, but
Yeah,
it'll take 10 minutes.
I mean, if
Uh,
at some point you want to know how that works, you can use that. But
Okay.
I know how it works. You stick it in your mouth, and then you speak what you wanted to say, and then you hear the words. In
I
your head.
also have identify.
yeah,
So
so if you need to at some point to figure out like how the heck that thing works, there you go. So yeah, that's a thing that just happened. I love Paul so much. Such a freaking mess.
Now we have a little bit of an update on Pyron. Hope he's okay.
yeah, me
Bah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So, okay, well, that's all the questions I have for at the moment. But I'm sure
Hey,
more will
bye.
come up as we move on. Please enjoy your breakfast.
Thank
Will do.
you.
Thank you, Gildel. If you think of any more questions, we'll be here
Until we're
it's
not.
time to get on the boat.
I just remember leaving this morning.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, until we get on the boat.
Out. Okay.
hmm
Alrighty.
Are we not going to the boat now?
Are you done eating?
It can be.
Yep.
Okay.
Since we are all gathered here, I did some shopping before we left town for some items that we may need. I am not equipped for the desert, so I was trying to get ahead of that. I have 2 potions of hydration, 2 healing potions. And then I also have this really cool antitoxin kit if anybody gets bit by any little pesties. So, does anybody? I have 2 potions of healing, but they're those risky ones that we got back in episode 1. So, does anybody need a healing potion or a potion of hydration? Oh, I also have a week's rations for everybody too.
I think for now we're okay.
I'm good.
You don't need a healing potion. You
I've literally given all my healing potions away.
you get hurt a lot though.
No, I don't. What are you talking about?
Will you please take this healing potion just so you have it in case you need it?
I don't know if I trust it. Is it going to do something else?
Not this one.
It's gonna steal your rings out of your pocket.
No, I'm good. Thanks, though.
You're not going to take a healing potion?
I don't trust it. I don't trust you. I don't think you're going to. I don't know what you're going to try to do. How do I know it's a healing potion?
Because it says healing potion on the side of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't look like it says healing potion to me.
Well, Paul, you can't read.
It looks like it says untrustworthy is what it looks like it reads to me.
Would anyone else like a healing potion or a potion of hydration?
Looks
Nope.
like nobody trusts you either. This group is learning. See what happens. I literally stand up from the table and begin walking towards the exit to go to the docks. This is what happens when you steal from your own party, and then all of a sudden nobody wants to trust you.
And she's trying so hard. Oh, goodness.
Okay. Well, I have the money to pay for the boat, so I should probably follow him.
Yeah, I don't know if I even have any money now. Actually, I've got some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eden has a ridiculous amount of money.
It's it's not ridiculous to have 1,000 gold.
That's
Don't worry,
okay.
Eden. I can negotiate for passage. I'm really good at it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're at least in a place or you're going to a place where they don't appreciate the arts, so you can't do the thing that you've been doing especially well
What is
for a
this
minute.
adorable thing you sent in the chat?
Oh, well, you're about to find out at the docks.
Oh, good.
Oh, I can't wait to kill it. and eat
Not this flower looking thing. That the flower bird looks scary, but I like the fuzzy. It's like a flying squirrel in a yellow jacket.
Yeah.
And a
yeah.
dragonfly. The wings are dragonfly for sure.
They are, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna make it my friend.
Do you need a new familiar? Just
She's
replace
gonna
your
make it her
owl
friend just so she can steal from it later.
with.
Oh, I love it.
All right, so we head to the
Okay.
docks to book passage.
Yep.
All right.
Alrighty then. So as you head to the docks, you do notice that this is significantly different than the airships that you like. All of these are a good bit different than the airships you saw in Two Rivers Run. You gather that Two Rivers Run is a little bit more about like distance travel in between continents, things to that effect, bigger trips. This there is there are two ships that look like smaller airship type vessels similar to the ones that you've seen, that look like maybe they're equipped for that kind of passage, but more of them look like smaller operations. They are smaller vessels, smaller crews, and on these there is always at least one, but usually more, a flighted animal attached. There are two that have what seem to be giant bats. There are four that have different numbers of the weird Venus flytrap birds attached to them. And there is one that has two different, two of the weird little bumblefuzzes in the front. That is now what that's called. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, but it is now. Bumblefuzz.
It is now.
Is there like a dock master who's working?
Yes, there is a dock monster.
A dock monster, yes.
Sure. He's like there's a large Sweetums looking dock monster master that
I was
is
half hoping you were going to be like, it looks like the Cookie Monster. Oh, yes, you want to board passage.
A is for airship. It gets me A to B. Yeah. So you don't clap for that. That's not good. That's not clap worthy.
No, that was great.
So yeah, there's a Sweetums looking. Now he's Sweetums looking because I said it wrong, and now it's headcanon for me that he looks like Sweetums.
Hey
There,
guys, I want to go too. Guys, wait up!
taking notes on everything that's going in and out. Yeah, so he's up there taking track, keeping track of everything.
Oh, all right, that's the guy we got to talk to. Where are we
Okay.
Eden? What's the name of the place we're going?
I believe actually we're looking for a town called Song.
Song?
Yes.
Okay.
It is the closest city to where we're going. Where we're actually going, if we can convince them to take us there, would be good. the mines, but Song is the closest
The mines near
village.
Song.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Doc Monster.
Yeah.
Which one of these ships is going to the mines near Song?
Oh, well, if you want to go to Song, I cannot do this voice. This is a terrible idea. He kind of leans on the little podium thing that he's standing behind and like the Bumble Runner is gonna be headed that direction. Also, the Carry Ferry goes like usually twice a week out there, and he's about due for another run. So those are your two best bets. Any of the others, the smaller operations, you could probably pay extra to take a different route this go round and swing wide. But yeah, those are your two best bets. They should be leaving in the next half hour, so if you need to go and talk to them, you should.
All right, Eden, come on, let's go. I say we get on one of the ships that doesn't have those weird bumblebee-looking things.
Well, I think our biggest issue is going to be which one has a deck
Reagan's
big.
face.
We need to find one that has a deck big enough for the card. That's going to be probably our
yeah,
biggest.
that's fair.
Yes, that is a requirement.
All right. You could probably manage the Bumble Runner. Looks like it could do pretty well with it. The Sky Stalker, you could probably pay extra and have them run wide. They would usually be going to Two Rivers Run, but you could probably pay them extra. They're the ones with the big bats there, with the 6 bats. So yeah, those are probably the two small ones that still would have enough cargo space for your thing there.
Eden, I think the one with the bats is the way to go. Because if we pay extra, it could probably just take us directly to the mines, right?
So it's a little bit iffy on the mines because there are more of those than there are the bumbles, the bumble fuzzes. But the problem with getting it out to the mines directly out to Arwen, where the little mining tent village there is that the winds get really disorienting and can be kind of dangerous to bring in the flighted things for that. But the flighted things are necessary to negotiate around the other things that go wrong in the desert. So they might be willing, but you'll have to take it up with them.
I'm pretty persuasive.
Paul, I'll let you do the talking.
Good idea.
Thea's like, why is everyone against me?
These are the nervous breakdown.
Like, why?
All right.
Meanwhile,
we
the
head
U.S.
towards-
Marshal is back there just like eating jerky going, huh?
All right, well, let's go talk to one of the ship's captains and see about getting aboard.
Okay.
All right.
I will follow you.
All right, let's go.
And the deck master kind of keeps his eye on you, just making sure. It doesn't look like he's suspicious or anything, but he's just making sure that he's taking stock of everything that's going on. So
I just start walking like down the gangplank, I guess, or whatever, and I just start randomly pointing at people. Hey, you going to Song?
no.
You going to Song?
But I work here. This is the Bumble Runner. He's like, actually, yes, we are very very soon. In fact,
Sweet. We need to hitch a ride.
Oh, all right. We can probably arrange that. We don't have any passengers right now, so we have enough space for it.
Awesome.
How many? Let's see. One.
We have a cart as
There's
well.
Oh,
there's 15 of us.
15's a bit I mean, we have the space, but maybe not with a cart, depending on how large your cart is.
We
That's
could leave. We could leave one of them. That's fine.
one of the people
There,
or the.
we could actually leave like 5 to 11 of them. There's only 6 of us, and the horse in the cart.
Oh, okay. We do have enough space for a horse and cart. We can arrange that, of course.
How much?
So that would probably end up running you if you're going out to Song. Which I should warn you, we do have to make a couple of pit stops along the way for the animals to rest and for such like that. But that would be he counts up you guys again. I think that would be about 250.
I put my elbow into Eden and be like, watch this. I don't think that's fair. I think maybe it should be closer to, I don't know, 375.
Certainly. You have a
You
deal,
got to do it.
sir.
I pull my hand out to shake.
It knocks down. 250 is a wonderfully generous price. Thank you.
Overpay. You don't know how to negotiate. I look at you. This is why you don't let women negotiate for you.
Eden's gonna pull out 375 and hand it to him.
He's just like, is your friend likely to attempt to murder him in the night? Because I should know this. It's going to be a decent chunk of time. And I just need to know...
I would like to point out that we paid you quite a bit above the going rate. Probably
I
enough
won't
not
ask
to ask that
questions.
question.
he just nods and pockets it. Like, bring the cart on, bring the cart on.
Tevin.
And on we go.
It's funny.
And once I've got the cart on, I will unhitch Quimby and see to his needs and making sure that the cart is lashed down good and tight.
One of the bumblefuzzes takes off and like goes over and like starts looking at Quimby and just kind of checking him out. Doesn't look like he's threatening him, just kind of almost like he's playful, going hi, and like bonks into his head a couple of times. It's just a little light bonking.
I'll actually reach out and sort of ruffle the fuzz on the top of his head and sort of scritch behind, I'm assuming, where the ears are.
He makes a sound and kind of flits back over to the front as the I guess animal handler for him, the I that thing that people do
that
to
thing
summon
that people
animals.
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, at least in our world, bees tend to communicate via pheromones and motion.
And butt dances.
Does he have to shake his butt to get it to come?
Now he does, yes. So the guy just stands up there behind the wheel and shakes his butt, and the bees come forward. It's a sound-based thing. Although they do kind of like wiggle their derrieres at each other from time to time, just little shakes, little shakes. They kind of start getting you situated and all that. What?
As we're walking on, I pull out my notepad and I jot down, all can't count.
This is an important note.
Do a lot.
Yep.
It is helpful when he just says that you find bodies all the time. You find a lot of bodies. Like, a lot to Paul might be a very different number than for everybody else. So yeah, you get situated. There's only about a 5-person crew here. But it is a much smaller vessel. It's like, well, you don't have a good reference for this unless you're actually in the room with me, but it's probably like a 20 by 30 boat ship thing. And it does have the little kind of dirigible attached to the center up high enough that you can still kind of go in and out. It does have little sails attached for easier handling. Um, but definitely the bumblefuzzes have a lot to do with the navigation in this. And to a certain extent, the lift, but not nearly so much. That's largely left to the dirigible. So, you can kind of make that deduction looking at it, except for probably Paul, who probably can't make that deduction looking at it.
Are the bumblefuzzes like all basically working right now to get us for us to take off?
They are getting readied. They aren't currently working, but you can tell that they're starting to get a little bit more attentive to the things going on in the front of the ship because the captain is currently, like, getting all of the instrumentation ready and plotting his course and making sure of all of the things that need to be in the front part of the pre-flight check.
Okay.
So, and you've got one of the crew will help strap down the cart and make sure that all of your items are firmly strapped down, all of that good stuff. The captain will come back over to you and be like, I didn't actually qualify. It will take roughly a day and a half to get there. So pretty
Faster than
good
walking, for
time.
sure.
We'll take an occasional stop off, let the bumblefuzzes rest. There are a couple of places that also are good spots for relief. Yeah, all of that sort of thing. If you don't want to use the ship head, things to that effect. So, well, some of them are kind of in the middle of nowhere, but pleasant enough stops all the same.
Oh, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. He'll carry on about his duties. Anything that you guys want to do before takeoff?
Not really.
I don't think so, no.
I walk as far away from Paul as I can get and start studying the bumblefuzzes.
Yeah, they're very tame, very friendly. As long as like one of them will kind of like look over his shoulder and realize, oh, I don't have to work yet, and come check you out because it can tell that you're checking him out, and just like bonk you forehead to forehead a few times, and just sort of look at you as you look at it, kind of do the little buzzy thing around you. It is about like 3 times your size, so it's an odd thing.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought these were small things.
no, they're very large but very friendly, and very gentle. Like the bonks are like it barely touches you, and then so yeah, they're big but very gentle, and you can tell even just by its face, like it's not malicious. That would be the best adaptation, to have a face that everybody looks at and just be like, "Oh, it's so cute," and then it murders you. Um, but yeah, very sweet, very friendly. You can definitely tell that they are accustomed to people and seem very well treated. The crew will occasionally walk by and like they like flowers and leafy things, so they'll just like hand them different flowers as treats and just give them scritchies when they go by. So yeah, you're able to study and draw them if you want and all of that good stuff. So the time arrives, and the captain tells you that if you would like, you can strap in their seats along the sides that have effectively seat belts. This is a smaller vessel, so it's a little bit bumpier than the big one, and it doesn't have quite the stabilization. So you guys take off. You can hear the front like gearing up as the bumblefuzzes start their more dedicated work, and it almost has the feel of what you would imagine like a dog sled would. You're higher and you're kind of skimming over like the areas that are the mm, air currents, differing air currents. You kind of feel it feels like it's solid ground under you almost, where those shift and change, and they tend to ride those the tops of those currents. Um, it is quite bumpy, uh, but all considered, not terrible. Yeah, there
Oh,
are
then, 'cause
there are ropes run all over the deck for when people need to get up and go places and stuff like that. You have something solid to hold on to stabilize yourself because they know that this is kind of a bumpy ride sort of a situation. Um, so you can talk over the sound. It is pretty loud between the wind moving past you. You are lower than the airships were, so you stay probably about like 200 feet above the ground. So you have a pretty decent view of everything below you as you go. Um, First leg of the trip, anything specific that you wanna you're looking for or doing, anything like that? We'll kind
not
of
until we
divide the
take the
day into
first break.
thirds. What?
Not until we take the first break, the first
Okay.
rest.
Okay. Anybody
I'm
else?
just keeping an eye on Quimby to make sure that he's handling the movement and motion okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I guess just roll me a d20 for him. It's a low DC.
4.
He's struggling a good bit. Like you're at a certain point, he ends up kind of tottering sideways and stumbling to a point that he almost like falls. And at that point, some of the other deckhands go over to him and kind of help ease him down into a more seated position so that he'll be more stable. Um, and try to kind of keep their eyes on him to make sure that he's comfortable. Um,
Yeah, seeing that, I'm probably gonna move away from whatever seat I was in and be over close to him as well.
okay. Um, and there are some stabilizing ropes there if you want to just hold on
Yep,
for safety's sake.
yep.
Um, Anybody else do anything particular?
So Eden is gonna be like wandering around the ship. You know those I think they call them magic snakes. They're like the little fuzzy things with a super thin string that you could like.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'll put a picture in
Vaguely?
the chat.
Yeah. I feel like I should know what this is.
Like you wrap it around like your fingers and your hands, and you like pull on it, and it makes it look like this little fuzzy worm things crawling around.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of awesome.
So
Why did I
Eden
not
is
have one of those?
Eden is doing minor illusion and basically just pretending to chase this little snake thing around the ship for most of this time because he's bored.
Fair enough. The deckhands are looking at you so strangely. Like, what is that? What is that?
Oh, it's fine. Just don't let it bite you. It's fine. Don't worry.
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, yay. I got a +8 for deception.
Oh, not bad.
21.
21. All right. Yeah, so now every time the little fuzzy thing goes by any of them, you hear this ah!
Dang it.
that it would bite me.
No, it won't bite you. Don't worry.
They kind of start screaming every time it happens and just move towards going like looking at it very distrustfully and shifting as far away from it as they can get. Like they
Occasionally, he'll have it like run around his arms, kind of like what you do with the actual like the toy, and he'll have it do it on theirs occasionally, and just causing a little bit of general chaos.
When you do it on them, they do still scream, and you can kind of see them like jumping and kind of goofy running forward. Yeah, so that's a thing now. I love that. Um, Go ahead, somebody for the group, roll me a d20.
3.
3. All right. I have to look up my. Let me grab my thing here. Sorry. I should have had it up already. There we go. And. Okay. So a 3 is gonna be. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. So nothing too crazy. With this, you do see a larger airship ahead of you, that you're flying kind of over the Emerald City, well, to the side of the Emerald City at this point in time. And you see what looks to be a very large airship, not as big as the ones that you carried over, that you got over to Two Rivers Run in, but pretty significantly large vessel that is settling down, and it looks like it's carrying someone very important towards the direction of Emerald City, and beginning to kind of lower itself. It does not look like something that would find a landing place on the ground there. You anticipate that perhaps you understand why the spires are so spiry, from the looks of this. So yeah, nothing actually happens to you guys, but you do see this airship kind of heading that direction, crossing paths with it.
Does it ever come anywhere close to our ship? Like
How close
underneath
do
it or
you?
anything?
So you are actually going underneath it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of crossing your trail above you because it's starting to descend, but it
Okay.
had to have a higher elevation than you guys did.
So
So
at some point, Eden will be like, "Oh no!" and the snake thing will like whoop up to that ship and disappear. Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
there's there's a Goliath on the ship that's kind of like, do you think they know not to let it bite them?
I think that's not our problem.
Fair enough.
I'll send Archimedes just on a very wide course and just circle above and check out that ship.
All right. Um, Looking for anything specific?
Just if there's
Checking
anybody
it out
on the
generally.
ship that we know.
Okay. Uh, hmm. Yeah, roll me a history check.
21.
Okay. So you would not know any of these people personally, but as Archimedes gets closer, and the colors kind of give it away anyway. But as as Archimedes gets closer, it can actually see um, the colors and kind of seal of the house. Geez, I forgot what his last name is now. There's a famous inventor from Milladunny who is effectively royalty in that area. And this is absolutely one of his diplomats' airships that he has designed. Generally good people, kind of showy and flashy and flamboyant in that regard. But yeah, he'd be reasonably well known through this area, and the crest is on a lot of technology that you see, including actually you would have seen this pressed into the upper arm of Bim. So, so yeah.
Just pass that tidbit on to whoever my companions is standing next to me. If y'all are around me, I don't know.
Ethan's just passing by with another little purple snake this time.
Just keeping himself occupied with snakes. All right. So after Emerald City, like you can kind of see it to your right as you pass by. It's pretty far off in the distance, but you do see it. You go probably another hour from there. You go ahead and take your first break. So they land you in a place. It's kind of a really nice field. There's a small community around, but nothing gigantic. There's a little place that you can buy basic food, and it's a little cafe kind of an area. There is a very small inn attached, but this is like definitely a one horse town that is set up here more or less specifically for these little trade things that need to rest here. So this is your first rest stop.
Paul, will you speak with them
So
to talk with the Bumblefuzzes?
awesome. What's he saying?
Just, are you okay?
I need for you to remember that we live together, and I take things very personally. So do whatever Paul's about to do.
He's just gonna be like, Thea's the worst.
So I don't know, we just talk. I just want to, like, ask them questions about what they do and learn about them, and yeah, just,
Cool. Any specific questions that you would ask them? Anything that you are specifically curious about?
Nothing like too specific, just, however the conversation kind of goes.
Okay. They would bonk you every now and then. Kind of, you gather. They tell you that that's how they get their bearings on a person and how they decide if they're trustworthy or not. There's a vibe that people have.
We start talking about trust and vibes, huh?
I didn't mean to set you up for that, but but yeah, that's kind of their litmus test. Like they got a bonk. That's how they explore and how they
really cool way to
understand.
do it. We have to just let people show us their true nature, and then we kind of figure it out as we go.
Ooh, interesting.
Assuming that my conversation with these requires me to be shaking my butt, at times, for the conversation.
Yes. So to everybody else,
you just see Paul over here just give it a little dance.
That's amazing. So yes, you all see the Paul interpretive Bumblefuzz dance that is happening in the front of the ship, and it's great. Paul cannot count. Paul dances with his butt to communicate with animals. Yeah, they would, ask about your axe and ask about where you're going and why and all of that kind of stuff.
Honest, open book.
That's fabulous. I'll write you a list of stuff that you find out about him too and give it to you. So just in case for some strange reason you ever need some information about Bumblefuzzes, if it's something that probably came up in this conversation, you'll have it. So I will send you some Bubblefuzz information later. That's a sentence. All right. So yeah, he's talking to the bees, shaking his butt. Anybody else doing anything on break other than normal rest stop things that one would do?
Yeah, just stretching my legs.
Yeah, just walk around, see what they have, window shop.
Mostly tending to Quimby, making sure he's okay.
Okay. Thea, you would realize pretty quickly like there's not a lot to shop for other than just like there's a little general store that keeps some basic goods stocked and whatnot because this is, just a little stop point along the way. Um, it's not quite like the Flying J sort of situations where they've got a whole bunch of touristy kitsch. It's more for the people, excuse me, flying and crewing. Um, so a lot more of its basic supplies and whatnot. The people on board do kind of go to the little cafe. You can tell that they know the lady that runs it and do the whole "Hey, it's good to see you again" sort of thing when they walk up and they take what's effectively a little bit of an early lunch break there before they go on. So you're free to do that if you want to. Um, and yeah, unless anything else is going on, we'll get you guys back in the air.
Eden will stomp on the snake and it will disappear. And then he'll like make sure he goes around the far side of the ship and come back with a bumble fuzz in miniature that he'll just sort of do the same shtick with.
It gets the bumblefuzzes really excited. Um, and so now they're like buzzing and trying to get over to the little one. They're so excited to see. It's like, what is this? This is not usually what we look like, small. And just like going over towards it to try and understand what it is that they're seeing. Um, if you get close enough to one for one to bonk it, it's now incredibly confused because there's nothing there to bonk. It's a lie! It just like bonks through it and goes, ah. You can tell that it's really confused and disoriented. So, yeah, that's all happening.
While trying to communicate with it.
What's that?
I'm just imagining Paul trying to communicate with the small one.
Oh, does Paul try and talk to the small one too?
I mean, if the small one comes around, I mean, it interjects itself in the conversation. I don't see why not.
It can't talk, so
But would it shake its butt at all to like would you be doing that to try and mimic the motions?
probably not. He hasn't spent enough time watching them to figure that out, so
Okay. Like it was gonna be really funny if it had because it's like it doesn't know the
defending.
language. It would just be saying random words. That's awesome.
Paul, that's quite the dance.
That is a dance. It's a dance. All right. So after the break, everybody loads back up. The bumblefuzzes are rejuvenated, although still slightly confused. And you guys lift back off into phase 2. Somebody else want to roll me a d20?
12.
12. All right. So this one's not a bad one. So this is pretty much as you're going, there is a flock of very strange birds that ends up kind of noticing you and flying alongside you. So there is one casualty in this as you get closer. One of the birds kind of flies a little too close and gets caught up in the side of the ship and kind of and bounces off of it. So there's just this big like of feathers to one side of the boat. But it's like there's probably about 20 of these birds that start off with feathers on the upper half and have like scales on the lower half that have that are attached to like legs that fold in that look kind of like lizard legs. Um It sort of looks like there are lizard hands folded into, but it's kind of hard to tell unless they get real close, which a few of them do. So if you were being super perceptive, you would notice this. But they keep pace with you for a while, fascinated by you and kind of flying in formation with you. So yeah, that's nothing bad happens. You just end up with a whole flock of bizarre-looking birds for a hot minute. So yeah, you will anything going on, anything particular that's happening during this leg of it for anybody? All right.
I think this one, I'm going to talk to Paul more and see what information he might tell me.
What are you asking?
It is going to be a very general, polite questions, more of a getting to know you
Getting to
without
know
him really
you.
knowing it's like, yeah, without him really knowing that I'm investigating him. It's just general, polite conversation. So, so Paul, you seem like you're the head of the group here. Is that correct?
What? Why?
Well, it seems like you're the one that's always taking charge and getting things done.
No, things need to get done. I try to get them done.
Do people usually just go along with what you say then? Or you seem like the smart one.
Gotta get out of my way.
Fair enough. Um, how long have you been traveling with everybody?
Oh, probably about 27 years, maybe 44.
In like 2 weeks.
That's a long time.
Well, not that long.
I don't know. You like everybody though. You get along with them pretty well.
No.
No. What not? Like, who do you have a problem with? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to get a general feel for how the group is, and
They talk too much.
Ah, gotcha.
I just cold dead stare him, just like, what?
Paul ain't no snitch.
Yeah. 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 All
Are
right.
you
Good
okay?
talking
Do
to
you
you.
need help? Why are you here? I thought you were only asked us questions earlier.
Oh no, I said, as we're traveling, I might have more questions.
Oh, so you're coming with us?
We're on the same boat. I mean, we're currently traveling together. I don't know how long we're going to be together, so
Well, where are you going?
I am actually following a lead, trying to track somebody down.
Oh, okay.
So it's coincidence. We just happen to be traveling together.
Hey, whatever works. Just don't get in my way.
Okay, fair enough. I'll talk to you later.
Why?
Gonna go and sit on the other side of the boat.
Yep.
Oh, don't sit there. Oh, you sat on the bumblefuzz. Oh, it's dead. You killed it. Oh.
I'm gonna pull out my notebook. Paul is weird.
This is his very official notes.
I'm gonna go sit next to Quimby. I'm gonna be like, that new dude's weird.
Yep. Yeah, he is a strange man. He's a weird horse.
Yeah.
I think that he is a suspicious horse. I think he is suspicious of you.
I agree. Having no idea what suspicious means.
He just and nods. And he'll keep talking to you for a little bit. If there's anything specific you want to talk to him about, feel free.
I'm checking on how he's doing, how he's holding up on this trip.
I don't like this thing. This thing shakes a lot, and it's not good for horse legs. And
It's okay.
then I have to lay down, and I don't like laying down for a long time. He just he seems frustrated.
It's okay. We're gonna land before too long, and then we can be back on the ground.
Can I run?
So it'll be okay.
Okay. I want to run.
Is Teffin nearby still?
Oh yeah, I'm still there, keeping an eye on him, patting him, brushing
I
him
tell
down.
you what he's saying, and I tell you that. So Quimby thinks the new person who's following us is suspicious.
Auspicious.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, he does look very official. Yeah, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I love you guys. You're so weird. Love it.
I guess that just
yeah.
means we. I guess that just means we need to treat him with with respect to his office.
I've never seen his office. I don't know.
I meant we should treat him with the respect worthy of his station.
Well, I've never been to a station either, so.
You should have seen exactly where that was going.
Oh, Paul.
Have you met this guy before?
No.
Probably near the factories.
Yep. It's close to the factories.
No, I've never met him before. Have you?
Oh, no, not until this morning. He's a talker.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So, but he's chasing somebody. I don't know.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me what Quimby was concerned about. I'll make sure at the next stop to take him down and let him run a little bit.
Sure. I look at Quimby. Hey, bud, you want some bacon?
What is
It's like
bacon?
dead pig.
What is bacon? Teffin, what have you been feeding this horse?
Hay and feed.
I pull out
All
some
the
bacon.
stuff you're supposed to.
Poop everywhere.
Yep. He will accept the bacon. He'll try a little bit. Oh.
I know, right?
Like, just starts diving into the bacon. This horse is going to have a very upset stomach.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're gonna give this horse diarrhea all over the ship.
Yep. You do, as it gets close to, it's starting to come in for a landing at the next stop, and you do hear Quimby's stomach going, wah, 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 wah. Like, there's a lot of noise coming from the horse's stomach. You're starting to get a little bit concerned. Incidentally, I'm sitting on the ball, and it's making some of those sounds.
Just hold on. We'll get a chance for you to just hang on, hang in there.
It hurts. Like, he looks so disturbed, and he's just looking at Paul, going, "Why?"
How long was this? How long was this flight?
So you're breaking it up into like probably about 4-hour chunks.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't have Speak with Animals cast by the time we're getting ready to land anymore.
Which also confuses him, because he's like, neighing at you, and you're not neighing back now.
Quimby.
So I'm as we're coming in, I'm gonna sort of reach around and grab his nozzle and then pull his eyes over to look at me and be like, "This is why you don't eat bacon." Okay? I know it tasted good. It's not good for you.
So they come in for a landing over by it will be north of what's the city by the lake? Oh,
Pomegranate?
Ponrichten. Yeah, Ponrichten. Um, they're coming in north of that, so you do pass over the town. It's a reasonably big sized town. Um, going from going from the little podunk place in the woods to this is it's a little bit different. So there's a little bit more life here, a little bit more sprawl to that place. So you're kind of on the outer edge of what would be kind of considered civilization. The actual town itself is several miles south of you, but you're still in the established community, we'll say. So, yeah, you land. There are a couple little stores on either side of you. Some folks stop and grab some snacks. Most of them aren't quite like having their evening meal yet, but yeah. So, anything particular? We're just traveling on.
Well, I have to take
Yeah.
Quimby off to first of all let him purge himself, and then to give him a little bit of a uh, let him have the trots, and then take him for a trot.
Possibly both simultaneously.
You know,
Horses do that.
however it
Yep.
happens.
Yep. So you exercise Quimby for a little bit and let him eliminate his bacon. And getting back now, taking off for the third leg. Anything particular on the third leg? I can have one of you roll for encounter.
Gil killed my Bumblefuzz.
16.
16. Where's my 16? Go back.
What? Don't look at me like that. I didn't tell the Bumblefuzzes you were a traitor.
We thought about it.
If it was going to come up in conversation, I would have said it, but it didn't. So.
Oh, I like this one. Okay. So it's starting to kind of get into the sunset hour. Sorry, did I just interrupt something else that was going on? Sorry. Okay. You're kind of getting into the later part of the evening. And you see ahead of you this very large, like locust-looking insect that doesn't quite look right and is heading straight for the ship in a weird bit of a spiral. This is way bigger than a normal bug. And as it buzzes down, like it is making a direct line headed for the ship.
How
Does
far away
anybody
is it?
well, at the moment, like you probably see it. Actually, roll me a perception check.
Because I have eagle vision, so I've
Oh,
got
that's right.
like
That's right.
super good distance that I
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, as long as you roll even a kind of sort of decent perception, it'll be at the
I think
outer.
it gives me advantage on perception checks.
Yeah, take that.
Okay.
And anybody else who wants to roll perception can.
23.
That's a 22.
Okay, 22 for you. What is the outer edge of that ability?
Oh, hey, would you hand me the player's handbook?
I think it's like 300 feet.
It's pretty far.
Fairly certain it's 300 feet.
So you'll see it as soon as you can actually get in that range.
17.
And
17?
mine was a 23, by the by.
23. Okay. You would notice it before, but you wouldn't actually be able to figure out that it is headed for you until probably 150 feet out. Actually, Paul, with yours, I'll say
1 mile away. I can see up
what?
to a mile.
Ooh.
That sounds better, yeah.
Okay.
So you can see, especially aerial like
Yeah,
this.
you can
I was like,
discern
I feel like this should
tiny
be
details.
farther. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see this from that mile mark. Teffin, you probably catch it at the 20, at the 300 feet mark.
Okay.
Nate, you're probably seeing it as it gets into the like 150-ish range. Anybody else, like by that point, they'll be drawing your attention to it anyway. So yeah, you can see it at that mile marker, and it seems to be coming from higher, and then it'll go lower, and almost in a panic, bolt up again, and it's really erratic, and it's flying like it's really struggling to control itself.
Do I get a sense that it's in trouble, or that it's like in an attack mode, or that it's like coming at us? Like,
Roll me an insight check.
12.
Oh, it's not bad. It doesn't seem to be in any kind of an aggressive way. It's hard to tell if it's distressed or not. If you had to guess by the patterns, you would probably say that there's a problem with it. But it doesn't seem to be like trying to attack the ship or even intentionally heading for it. It kind of looks more like an accident.
Yeah. I'll point it out to everybody, even though they probably still can't see it while it's that mile away, and just being like, hey, what the hell is that thing? And I'll like ask like people who are working on the ship and be like, you ever seen any? What the heck's that?
They have not seen anything that looks quite like this, so they're all now on their guard. A couple of them have their weapons out just in case, but they don't seem to be like they're not ready to be aggressive towards it. As it
I
gets
wonder if you can eat
closer,
it.
Probably.
technically, as it gets closer, do you guys do anything about it? It is set to crash land. You probably don't think it'll damage the ship, but it is set to crash land into the middle of the ship.
Should we be doing something
There is
to
a
like stop that?
so there is a click and a whir from my chest piece. Click.
Are you going to shoot it?
I don't
Maybe.
want to have to, but I will if I need to.
Okay.
I get prepared to try to catch it.
Okay. So Teffin, are you going to shoot it if it looks like it's about to crash, or are you going to shoot it if it
No,
causes trouble?
I'm gonna shoot it if it looks like it's coming in for an attack. If
It does not look like it is coming in for an attack.
Okay.
It does look like it's coming in hot and about to smack into the ship. Paul, roll me. I could see either athletics or acrobatics, so one of those.
Add a bardic inspiration, as Eden will play you a song.
Is that a D4 or a D6 now?
That's a D8.
Or is it D8? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Living large.
As it's getting closer, then, and it appears more to be. Looking for a place to light. Go ahead. Yeah.
21? Okay. What are you doing, Teffin?
Finish up with them, and
Okay.
and I'll come back around to it.
So you are able to. It's an awkward looking thing, but you do manage to soften its landing a little bit. This thing is kind of a little bigger than you. And so you catch it, but it's more like a slow it down and it's skidding you backwards a bit.
Sure.
So you do soften its landing pretty dramatically.
So as that's happening, I'm gonna sort of wave my hands and cast Featherfall on it.
Oh, nice. So actually, you don't end up skidding a lot. It looks like you're about to because it's coming in so fast, and then it kind of slows pretty quickly. And it ends up kind of softening that even more. And you kind of see like its eyes blink kind of erratically, and it looks really confused.
What does it look like? Is it a humanoid or is it a bug-like creature? Or
So this thing looks like a giant locust, but its face is definitely a lot more expressive than what you would think an insect should be. Um, it's a real weird little creature. And you wouldn't have this to be able to check. Yeah, it looks definitely very confused. Um, and currently definitely not humanoid. So, yeah, does not appear humanoid right now.
I set it down and I take a moment to try to look at it and figure out what the heck I'm looking at.
Roll me an investigation check.
11.
There are some weird markings on this that you wouldn't normally see on an insect. Like there are some weird little star patterns that look almost tattooed onto its skin, or scale chitin, whatever. Yeah, it's exoskeleton. Uh,
I call Eden over for that. I'm like, hey, Eden, you know this magic crap.
Might have to wait for a moment for him to return. Um, but yeah, you can call him over to help you out with that in a
Sorry.
moment. Oh no, you're fine.
Yes, I do know magic crap. I missed something. Dad was talking to me.
Oh, sorry. So there are strange like star and moon patterns and stuff like that that look almost tattooed onto the exoskeleton of this thing. So he can tell that something's not right, but called you over to help him identify what's going on with it.
Okay. This is nothing Eden would be familiar with, though.
Probably not.
Should we kill it?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't.
I'll cast detect magic because that works on a creature.
Yeah. Oh, it is glowing something fierce. And I don't know, does that tell you like what kind of magic it is?
Yeah. Detect magic will tell
Yeah.
you the kind of magic.
Okay, so trying to remember, is transformational one like what school is this? Transfiguration? Is that Harry
Mhm.
Potter? Yeah, transfiguration. Uh,
Transmutation.
Transmutation.
Mhm.
There we go. Yeah, transmutation magic very strongly. Um, does it give you more information than that? I forget.
It gives
Mm.
the school, so that's about as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
With detect magic, that's about as much as you're gonna get.
But with that, you could tell that this creature has been transformed from something else.
Okay. So I'll tell everybody that. And I can cast dispel magic.
Before you
Sure.
do that, let me try something.
If anybody wants to do something first.
Eden will take out
I'd like to try to speak to it.
Oh,
If you just give me a moment, let me try and speak with him through his mind. Maybe he can't speak verbally or something like that, but if he can speak through his mind, I might be able to get some answers. And I am going to do Mind Link. I can speak telepathically to any creature as long as it speaks one language.
Yeah.
And as a
Yeah.
bonus action, he can talk back.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
So
What are you saying?
I'm gonna put my hand up close to him and said, "Do you understand me?
Yes.
What's your name?
Still.
Dill?
Still.
a relative of cabbage.
What? Why are you here?
It was an accident. I changed and I didn't mean to.
Can you change back?
No,
So while you're
Okay,
talking
one
to
second.
him,
Let
I'm
me
gonna use that as a distraction. I'm gonna take my knife and break one of the the runes.
So, like the one of the little tattooy looking things.
Oh, is it more tattoo? Okay, I was
Yeah,
thinking
it's
like
like
in the
on his
carapace.
skin. Yeah, like on his carapace.
I'm
It's
gonna
part of
rip
it.
off some of his skin.
Yeah.
I mean, he might actually try to just like break his knife into one of them, like skin level, like surface level, but trying to break it to see if that is what's holding the magic to him.
So he like wriggles when you do, and it's like ow
Oh,
ow ow ow
sorry.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so what I got is that it changed into this, but it doesn't know how to change back.
All right,
I
Thea, I think
sneezed
Okay.
that
really hard.
Okay. Did you
Do
change
you understand
magically?
him? Like, or is it just the telepathic communication? Like he's not speaking
It's
any language?
telepathic. No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
telepathic.
telepathic.
So I'm gonna go back to Dill and said, so you change magically? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if we can help you out here, and then I'll tell you. Okay, so apparently he changed magically and he can't change back.
Thea, I think that's you, yeah.
Anybody have any other thoughts?
I tried to break the
Um,
rune, but he didn't like that.
I mean, I fought a creature once that when I killed it, it transformed back to its original form.
well, we're gonna try and not kill it. It seems like a nice guy.
We'll try this way first, and then if not, we'll see. He'll take
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll cast dispel magic.
All right. And as you do, you kind of see this thing like reform into what looks to be something like a like 6, 7 year old girl. Um, just sort of like sitting kind of freaked out looking on the deck. Uh, and she's in like a little sun and moon printed dress. Uh, just wide-eyed, kind of eyes that look like the same color as the sky. Kind of tawny skin, but like platinum blonde hair. Um, just kind of looking a little dazed.
Oi.
Did it work?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Um, where are we going?
Well, we're going to a place called Song, but where are you from?
Uh, from Ponricton. I guess I have to.
And one of the crew will come over and start talking to her as well. And like we can take her back after we drop everybody off at Song. What what happened?
Well, I I sneezed really hard and I have trouble trying to get everything to stay the same when I sneeze and I don't know. I just I panicked and then I flew and then I didn't fly and then I fell and then I had to fly again and it was really scary and I just couldn't figure out how to fly good.
Wait, so you change every time you sneeze?
Well, I'm just now starting to. It's a little confusing. My my dad is a druid and he told me that this would happen someday, but I just didn't know
Did
that
Billy
it
have a
could.
kid with a druid?
What? Huh?
Did Billy have a kid with a druid?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. It could be hers, who knows. But
Yeah, I haven't figured out how to control it really good yet, like Dad can. So I'm sure he's gonna be really worried.
Do you have a way to send your dad a message?
I can try. I'm not really good at it yet, but maybe I can at least get through that I'm safe. So I'll try that.
This really was just straight up a random encounter roll, guys. like a druid crash lands in a beast form on the ship. I love that.
Possibly tomorrow, I could learn some kind of messaging spell, but
I can try tonight and see if maybe I can figure it out. But if not, that would be helpful. Thank you.
if
One
I
of the
can.
crew also offers to help. What?
She's trying to see if she can learn the spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it's just called message, isn't it?
It's got a 120-foot
Oh,
range is the problem. I've got that one ready, but it's
What's the one that Jester would use that would like
sending?
sending?
sending. Yeah.
Voila! There's now an adopted child.
It's a
What have you
third
done?
spell.
I'm just glad
I don't
Claudius
remember
isn't
what
here.
my rules are because I can pick off different lists.
How old is this child?
What?
How old is this child?
Ballparking, you would say it's like around 7.
Young.
Yeah, so little.
Well, are you hungry? Do you need something to eat?
I wouldn't say no, it's getting close to dinner, but I don't want to be a bother. I kind of didn't mean to be here anyway.
No, that's okay. Magic's tricky.
I got bacon.
I like bacon.
Pull out some bacon.
2-day-old, 3-day-old. Nothing like
Yeah.
it. All right. So she'll snack on some of your bacon, and she's a pretty happy kid. She's just sitting there, kind of nomming, like looking at everything. She'll ask questions of the crew sometimes.
I'll pull out one of those the little mechanical toys that I've made earlier
Oh, awesome!
and just give it to her just to keep her occupied.
Thank you. You're nice.
Is Claudius like automatically summoned anytime this happens?
Not in this particular circumstance. Although there might come a day. I'm really grateful he's not here because he would have just adopted another child. But yeah, she sits there and is just like so entertained and like kind of tinkers with each little piece and is so excited about it. And
It's like, you're really good at this, mister. Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
You're real nice. I appreciate it.
so she'll go on about just like occupying herself playing with the toy and occasionally asking questions about the ship and how stuff works and all of that.
Eden will play her a song.
She'll sing along kind of badly. But she'll like it's one of those things where she doesn't actually know the song because Eden's making it up or something like that. But she sings along anyway. It's one of those things. Anybody else got anything else before landing?
They go through. I should have extra spells that I don't have. Oh, I should have sending.
Oh,
Why should you?
Because every time I level up, because I have the great old one as my patron, I get these spells, I think.
awesome!
Yeah, the following are added as a warlock spell for you.
Very
so yeah, I have
cool.
sending.
You do have sending, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So I've got that for backup.
Perfect.
So
Can
you
you
would just
send
have
to
to.
somebody that you don't know very well? I
If
think
a
you can.
person describes them in good enough detail,
Okay.
apparently you are able to do that. But
This should be
some
fascinating.
some people prefer you to have to like make a roll to see if you get enough information to effectively do the spell.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys make it to your next stop. It is kind of in a deserty area. It's on the other side of a big river that you pass by. It's Mississippi River-sized river. It's pretty darn big. So they park it like close enough that there's still moisture there. Um, a little bit of greenery along the delta. Some benefit from that. But you can tell the change in landscape as you're starting to work past that into the more sandy areas. So they'll settle you down for the night. And there's kind of more of a little campground kind of setup. There are like 2 or 3 actual buildings, and everything else looks a little bit more like campsite for the night sort of a thing. So
Do they
you're able to either,
do they unload the cart for the night?
if you ask them to, they will. Yeah, they'll just leave it strapped down if that's what you want.
Yeah, that's fine. I will be sleeping in the cart.
Alrighty then. The rest of you can either sleep out in the open if you would like. There are little hammocks that you can put up on the ship. You have your tents. You can pick whatever arrangement you want, really.
Definitely doing a hammock.
Eden will set up on the ground with his layman's tiny hut going.
Cool.
Was there a crow's nest on the ship? Or
There is
anything
a
like
little
that?
crow's nest, yeah. It's not as high as with the really big ships. It's a little bit lower, but it does sit above, kind of above where the dirigible portion is.
Yeah, that's
So
where I
yeah.
go up to get some sleep.
All right. So you're in the crow's nest. Um,
Did we ask the little girl's name? I don't remember.
you have not yet, no.
Oh, sorry. Sweetheart, what's your name?
Oh, actually, I did. He did. I'm not sure if he told you, but it's Dill.
Bill.
Yeah.
I will set her up with like whatever I have as far as I mean I have a bedroll, that's all I have, but I'll set her up in that, and then I'm gonna cast alarm in a perimeter around her.
Aw, that's sweet. Okay. Yeah, so you're able to do that, and she's like, "Oh, thanks, you're really nice. I like you too. All of you guys
I
are
was
really
thinking the
sweet."
same thing.
Try to get some sleep, and if you haven't been able to contact your dad tomorrow, you'll just have to tell me what he looks like. Give me a lot of details, and I can try to send him a message.
Okay. I think I can do that. I know a lot of details. I can do that.
Okay.
So-
Try to get some sleep.
Okay. So she'll kind of curl up in the bedroll and snuggle in and go. She'll be probably asleep before most of the rest of you are. So, anything else for the night? Cool. Alrighty. So the next morning comes, and actually, her father has already found somebody to send to her. So she kind of woke up in the middle of the night and was communicating back. So he now is up to date on what's going on and will be meeting them on their way back. And has offered through her to give the captain some extra money for the trouble of a longer stop to make sure that they meet up. So her passage back is handled, and you get to go one more stint before you hit the village of Song.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
I only ever got a third of the way through my horse sand shoes, didn't I?
I think so. Would you have done some of that last night?
Yeah, I probably need to work on that.
Alrighty. I forget what it was that we were having you roll for that, but go for it.
Imagine it's one of my tool sets. And which stat do you want me to use with that?
I think we were having you do the intelligence one.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Alright, so that's 11.
You make a little bit of progress. It's not a step backwards, but you're not going to make nearly as much progress as you would like.
Okay.
So you're still like you might be a smidge past your third now, but you still have
Okay. Well,
would you be doing this like in the open or in the cart?
Good question.
Overnight, probably in the cart, and then
Okay.
once I woke up in the morning, tended to Quimby, had a little breakfast, I'd probably start working on it out in the open before we got underway.
Okay, because if Eden sees you working on it, he'll play a song right next to you to give you a bardic inspiration.
I assume that would be a roll in the morning then. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to add a D8.
And a D8. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You hear from the crow's nest, turn that music off, it's too early.
It doesn't turn off, Paul. That's not really how this works.
I don't know how any of this works.
So that will be a 17.
17. All right. So you do make a significant bit more progress with that one. So probably by the end of the trip, you will have hit another like third of it being done.
Okay.
You're able to tinker around with it a little bit. Some of the stuff that doesn't require quite so much finesse, you're able to do while you're in motion. All of that good stuff. Is anybody doing anything particular on the way on that last one? On the last leg?
I think I'm just gonna do general conversation. So.
Oh no, Eden's just gonna play like some lo-fi beats for the whole crew.
I'm just gonna engage in general conversation with the group and try to get to know them better.
Cool. Anything specific that you're trying to ask?
Like I said, it's very general, and but I'm trying to find information on like how long they've been traveling together, and what led them up to this point, and, where they're headed, stuff like that. Just general stuff.
Oh, like 57 years or something?
Been hanging out with Paul too much. You start to get the distinct impression you're being This group feels perhaps a little bit trolly. So yeah, I'm not sure if anybody actually gives you a straight answer on anything, but sure.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'd give him. I'd probably just give him matter of factly the facts. It's like tell him.
Are you asking Paul these questions again?
No, I'm not asking Paul any questions.
Like lesson learned.
Yep. Trying to be a little more smart about this guy.
I see it. You're doing well, Padawan. He hasn't been nearly killed once yet. This is
Yet.
an outstanding amount of restraint on your part.
Didn't try to kill the locust girl either, so yes.
I'm impressed. Super impressed. All right. So you're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and say with the other things that have gone on, we'll just say that you're able to make it to Song pretty well without an issue. You do see, like, below you, you can see different kinds of signs of large creatures in the desert. And you begin to get a little bit more. It's hard to tell while you're moving, but as you're slowing down, coming into the town of Song, you begin to kind of understand why it might be called that. Because as you start to lower yourself down and slow, the sound of the wind changing direction over the dunes creates this eerie sound, kind of like when people have just the right amount of water in a bottle and they over the top of it, and it creates that nice whoo sound, like in different pitches. These kind of sing-songy sorts of pitches howling sort of through the dunes. So it always sounds like there's a little bit of some eerie kind of a music playing there. Like I said, there are signs as you're coming in of different kinds of creatures that might live in the sand. If anybody would want to do any kinds of checks on that, they could. If you wouldn't necessarily think to, that's also okay. You do notice that this area is where the city is kind of built up on something that seems a little bit more like solid rock than on dune. So, any observations that you wish to make or anything like that, or just going with the flow?
All right, guys, where we going?
All
What
right.
direction?
So you pull into land. It's about midday now. You gather. The captain would tell you probably it's a pretty full day travel by other means to Orwin, the actual mining town, which is effectively a tent city. Just a bunch of little makeshift places where the miners are staying. Song itself is a pretty small place. It is definitely a mining town. So there's not really a school or anything like that. There are a few people that probably live here on a more permanent basis, but there are a couple of different like barrack style homes where people that are kind of transient coming for a little while to mine can come back from the mines and feel at least a little bit more comfortable for a while before they either go back out or use that as their jumping off place to go back to where they came from. So kind of little military barrack style places that have little washrooms and just cots lined up. There are 2 inns, both attached to brothels. One is a nicer place, and one is, well, nicer for the town. One is pretty darn seedy. There is a general store. There is a kind of actually weirdly pretty open air hallway, if one could call that a hallway. So it's like pillars down 2 sides with archways over that looks like some sort of a worship center or something to that effect. There's a little market that has stalls, things like that. There's a forge and repair place. Like all the things that are like necessary are represented here. And the brothels, because you're in the middle of absolute nothing and people are bored. So
necessary.
yeah, necessary.
The West was one.
There were lots of brothels in the West too. So yeah, that's kind of what you see in song. All of these are, at least other than the market itself, pretty established buildings, but there are kind of tents out to the side that you gather probably people that live there temporarily for right now, things like that. Um, so yeah, that is currently what you're seeing. Oh, there's also a transit station that seems to be like kind of where you've skidded into, and there are some strange different contraptions that you see pulled into this, um, that uh, that you've not really seen before, that seem specially designed for sand. Um, so yeah, that is where you are.
What time of day is it? It's like midday.
Yeah, it's midday.
So before we get off the boat, I would ask the captain how much further do they have to go to take Dill where they're taking her? Like how when will you expect to drop her off?
So they're actually, he would tell you that they're actually dropping off supplies to Song, and are headed back the direction that they came, and they will be stopping off uh, outside of Emerald City at another location for some supplies on their way back to Whittlebusen. So pretty much they are backtracking now. Um, they will probably go ahead. They would have stayed the night here, but they can backtrack and hit um, that open space and have her back by like midday tomorrow. It's midday now.
Okay.
Oh, they could possibly have her back late tonight. So while they do have to make a stop, they're gonna go ahead and just turn right back around and take her back to where she came from.
Okay. Okay. And how much usually would I know that like a room at an inn goes for? Not the super fancy like 300 gold piece a night suites, but just like an
So
average room at an inn.
average, I want to say, is like, isn't it probably like 5 silver or
A
something like
nice,
that?
nice, safe place.
Yeah, a nice safe place, something like 5 silverish, like anywhere between 3 to 5 silver is a nice like step up from Motel 8 for the day, you know? Uh like it's not a roach motel, it's nothing fancy, but it's good accommodations.
So before we get off the boat and we leave Dill, I'm going to give her 10 gold pieces. And I'm going to say, if
Aww.
something happens and your dad's not there to pick you up, this is so you have a nice place to stay while you wait for him to get there. And then you're going to hear me talk to you tomorrow because I want to check and make sure you got picked up by your dad. So I'm just gonna pop into your head and you're just gonna hear my voice and I just want to know that you got home safe. So
What's going to happen if she didn't? Like, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
back and get her if I have to.
If we don't have a way to get there, like,
Well, I will figure it out then.
She will find a way. She will rent a broom and fly.
I think that Thea needs to get some extra powers now.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
If only she has some boots.
In the back of my mind, I have no way to get to this girl, but I'm gonna figure it out.
You have this like weird little touch of a feeling in the back of your mind saying, "There's always a way. There's always a way."
Don't worry.
You're not familiar with this voice, but there's definitely a voice in your head. Oh, I love it. So yeah, she looks up at you and is just like amazed and like wraps her arms around you in a big hug. Thank you, Miss Lady. I really, that's really sweet. And your name is Thea. Thank you, Miss Thea. You're really nice.
Well, it was so nice to meet you, and you just practice on your wild shaping and try not to sneeze so hard next time. But magic's tricky, so.
If I see you again, can I show you my wild shape practice?
I would love to see it.
She like just grins really big and straightens up.
That makes me happy. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, I'll
s-
try my best.
You stop laughing, Stephen.
I'll tell you later.
So yeah. What? Oh, I think I just heard my own echo. Sorry. It's still happening in my head, so it's really odd and disorienting sometimes. It's not an all the time thing, just sometimes. And so I think suddenly that Reagan is is talking to me. All right. So you guys are now free to explore song and do what you need to. Um, where to?
So before we get like once we have the cart off, Eden's gonna sort of try to address everybody. Um, so I think we have a message to deliver here in song, right? Was it in song that the first
Yes.
letter from Edgar Allan Poe came?
Oh, or is it Orwin? I
It might
forget.
have been Orwin.
I think it's Orwin.
Hold
So
on,
he's
Okay.
in
I
the
have
tent
the
building.
letter. Bella, gnome lady, on the first ship that we took.
So that one was actually that one's in Two Rivers Run. Which you're going back to anyway
Okay.
to take the big ship. The
When
other
you're at-
letter is for
Oh, I have that letter too. Why do I have both of these?
because
The roll?
that's probably smarter.
Yeah.
Like, have you met your group? It's probably smarter.
You can
Yeah.
give it to Paul, but Paul can't read, so he doesn't know who it's going to.
Okay, let me find.
So this
Yeah,
person is.
I'm pretty sure you did say that it was an Orwin.
Yeah, it is. Trathul.
Truffle.
Gesundheit.
The leather worker in Orwin. Yes.
And so that's on the way back to Two Rivers Run from here?
Orwin is at the mines. Like that's the little tent
Oh,
village that's
okay.
at the mines. Yeah.
Gotcha. I
So
mixed that name up with
Yeah,
something
so we
else.
should give them the letter before we jack up the mines, because we're going there to screw up the whole mining operation, right?
At least to tell them that they are going to stop, yeah. So, yeah. I have something of a favor to ask then. Since that is about a day's travel from here, would would it be okay if we stayed in town here for a couple of days?
Why?
it would really just need to be tonight, just so you know for timekeeping. If
Oh yeah.
that yeah, so like catch up would be pretty much this evening.
Oh, okay. Never mind. No, I just. Oh, this is gonna be. Um. So, guys, I have to tell you something. Um.
So while you're saying all of this, Teffin is like pulling the treads out from the cart and laying them out and starting to thread them over the wheels of the cart.
Um. Can we leave tomorrow instead? Stay the night here because, um, I don't know if you all remember Sila, from our trip into Two Rivers Run.
Nope.
From what?
From our trip into Two Rivers Run. Sorry, that's really hard to say with the accent.
No,
Two Rivers Run.
our speakers are dying, so it's really staticky. But that's our sorry. About our trip into Two Rivers.
Yeah, do you remember Zila?
No.
Your sister. Yeah? No?
That's awkward.
uh, she was the tiefling on the boat, the other mage.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I kind of have been in contact with her this whole time, and she's coming here to meet us to help. We've
Okay.
kind of become something of an item. I hope that's not weird for anyone.
Why would it be weird for anyone?
I don't.
I mean,
Um,
you do you. Well, whatever you
and
need.
um,
Whatever you need to get up to or into or whatever.
uh, okay. Would you be okay if she joined us on this expedition?
I don't know who the hell you're talking about. So
Did we have, like,
that's Paul. Paul legitimately doesn't know who you're talking
That's fair. She
I
was
just don't
on the.
remember. Did we, like, I mean, she was just on the boat, right? Like, we didn't fight her or anything, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Eden helped her out in one of the combats. I think he healed her when she had gotten wounded, something to that effect. And then he decided that he was going to take her on a date while you guys were in Two Rivers Run, and it went apparently very well.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
well, you guys were off getting like supplies and the side mission for with the letters. Eden was elsewhere.
Get that booty call, huh?
So yeah, that's um
So you
yeah,
want
she'll
us
be
to
here
hang out
tomorrow.
for a day so your girlfriend can join us?
Yes.
I love how awkward he is about it, too.
Well, and actually it's funny because the thing he's most awkward about it with is because of Paul, but Paul doesn't know. Paul doesn't remember
Like,
because
Paul doesn't
about.
give a crap.
Yeah, Paul
yeah,
doesn't give one crap. Like he doesn't. He didn't care enough about this person to remember she exists. Wait, do we have to kill her? Is
no,
that what
no,
we're waiting to take this
uh-uh,
person out? I get
nope,
it. Got it.
please don't kill her.
I love how quickly that just, like, always just goes to hell. We need to kill her. I see. It's the answer for everything.
She will help us to kill other things.
Oh, okay. That's where I was confused. I get it
Yeah,
now.
it's an easy distinction to mistake. I get it. So this was good talk, everybody. I'm gonna go get like rooms in the hotel. I'll see you in a minute.
That's real awkward.
So is
Wow.
everybody cool with going tomorrow?
Eden
Yeah.
already walked
You
away.
didn't really ask. So,
I mean, I,
I
I
mean,
still have some work to do for Quimby anyway, so that works out.
okay.
Cool.
Paul,
Speaking
you
of,
good?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Guess we're hanging out for a day.
Really just half a day. It's pretty much midday anyway, so
so I'll
the full day
finish.
travel.
So I'll finish, you know, treading up the wagon and then start working on the horse sand shoes.
What's her name again?
Scylla.
Oh yeah,
Philip?
Sila.
$17.
Nice. Okay. So you're able to get most of the way through it tonight. Pretty much, you'll just have to make one more roll in the morning to figure out the finishing touches to make sure that it's viable. The treads are going to work fine for the actual card itself. You're pretty confident in that. Is anybody going to be looking for anything specific in the song? Anything
Paul just goes to get drinks.
easy enough? Okay, so there so the landing, which is what the transit hub is called, is also there is a pub there on premises. So if you want the least amount of kerfluffle to get to the booze, that is the closest location with booze. It's just like right there in the little place where people do their business when they land. Also, both of the inns and brothels have bars involved. So yeah, you can take your pick.
What's the rowdiest place?
So there are two inns. One of them is pretty nice looking. I mean, they are both brothels as well, but one of them is pretty nice looking. The other one looks like it is a real rough and tumble, fun, exciting kind of place.
Let's
Uh,
do it.
that is called the Gallows. Um, so
To the
there's
gallows!
yep. there's the Gallows, and then there's Shade, which is the other place that is nicer and is supposed to sound inviting because out here it is like roasty toasty hot. You guys have already noticed this. You are sweating bullets. So the idea of Shade out here is very appealing and pleasant. So it is called Shade. But yeah, the Gallows is probably the place to be if you want some rough and tumble drinking.
Yep, that's where I go.
Is anybody attending the Gnome?
Nope, all my
I've
own. I
got.
love it. Hello.
This is
Uh,
Is
gonna
it
be great.
Mork or Crom that's with us today?
Oh, let me roll. Let's see. Uh, who's evens, who's odds?
Crom's even.
Crom is even. It is odd, so we have Mork the Orc with us.
Okay. Well, I assume Mork the Orc is probably going to go off with Paul.
Yep, I feel like that's
Okay.
probably
That's fine.
probably a good assumption and a terrible idea. So yes.
I will go in the opposite direction and just see what shops are about.
All right, all right. So yeah, Hatches is a forge and repair shop that's you can tell that they stay really busy with the basics. They've got a lot of people coming through, making sure that their creatures are well equipped, that any of their tools are functioning well, all of that good stuff. In the market, there are some like kind of deserty crafts that are present there. So there's definitely kind of a folk culture here that has its own very specific art style that's very desert friendly. So some fascinating little trinkets and things like that. The temple hall is that place of worship uh, that looked like the open hallway, and each archway in between the pillars has a different god or goddess or deity of some sort represented, and etched their name into one of the arches. And there are a lot here, and there are a few that are blank that are just kind of catch-alls for people. And you can see that there are offerings in the archway. Sometimes there are little statuaries and whatnot, but they all look like they're made of kind of silt clay. Um, and some of them are halfway blown away, like halfway eroded. And nothing that is left seems permanent. So any of the offerings are all things that would either decompose or something like that. They're not permanent leavings. So everything here is very temporary. Let's see. There is a general store that has a catch-all of a whole bunch of different things. They've got fabrics that are really rugged, as well as like some food items that store well, tools, trinketries, stuff like that. Um, Those are the big ones. There are some small areas where animals are being raised and sometimes trained. So yeah, that's kind of what you see as you go through. Is there anything specific that you are interested in?
I'll go to the temple. And is there an archway for Morpheus?
There is actually. It's kind of an odd one because you don't recognize the figurine that's there. It looks very different. But yeah, there are some things that have been offered to Morpheus, and here, instead of having it as Morpheus, it is just Dream, but synonymous.
It's like a plate there that has a blue pill and a red pill on it. So
Pick your
Yep.
pills.
Yep, exactly. There's a pair of sunglasses sitting right there in between two pills.
I love it. I'll just hang out there for a bit and journal and draw things. I want to use the magic paints to try to draw something like a stat. Like, how does it work? Like, if I draw, I know if I draw something, like the thing becomes real. But is it made out of whatever material I draw it on?
Yeah, or so if you paint a wooden door, you have a wooden door, I think is how that works.
Okay.
Like, so if you paint it to be made out of a specific material, it is that specific material. But if you just like draw a door frame and a door knob, then it would just be of whatever material is showing, pretty
Okay.
much.
I want to try to paint it so that it is made out of like marble, like something that's not going to erode or decay.
Okay. What are you painting this on? In your
Well, I don't know.
sketchbook?
That's why I was asking.
Well, I mean, you
Does
can
it
paint
have?
it on your paper. It depends on like what is it that you're painting? Sorry. Let's start there.
Hmm. What is a good representation of a dream?
Sheep.
A what?
Sheep,
Sheep.
like counting sheep. I will.
Paint a tiny sheep and have it rolling around. Sorry. It's a great mental image.
I will draw a pillow that you rest your head on when you sleep.
Oh, good, a marble pillow.
A marble pillow that's like dented in, like it looks like somebody just lifted their head from it.
Okay, okay. So I would say if you were gonna do that, you might want to do it like in your. It would be a small pillow, but you do it in your book so that you could leave that behind. Because I feel like.
Not a ferret.
Oh, hi, buddy. I feel like you would, if you took away a chunk of the archway, if you painted it on the archway, you would create some structural instabilities there. So probably best be done in your book.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
roll me a performance check or something oriented around like your art tools.
And I'm gonna guide it. And I'm glad that I did. 14. You said performance?
Oh, yes.
19.
Oh, it's real good. It's really like it's a little small because it came out of effectively a sketch pad, but
Sure.
it is a perfect pillow, and you can almost like make out the imprint of a person's head that was there before. Like there's the little ear dent, and yeah, it's pretty darn perfect. Very, very good.
Very proud. And so I will leave that and say a little prayer.
Are you aiming to actually communicate with him, or is it just it's like a prayer offering, pretty much, just saying, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
How you doing? Yeah, just an offering, and I hope that I'm still on the path that you want me to be on.
Okay, cool. Good deal, good deal. All right, Paul. Well, let me first find out what's like. I know Teffin is making his stuff. Gildale, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, before you judge me, let me explain.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
We're gonna preface this real
I'm
quick.
already judging you now.
Are these brothels legal?
Yeah. I mean, they're not particularly regulated, but it's not unusual to find them, and especially like out here. Like brothels are generally legal as long as they're like actually paying their people well, and it's not like some kind of a
Okay.
yeah. So
I'm gonna go talk to them, make sure they are, and that nobody's like kidnapped or anything like that, and investigate, make sure they're on the up and up.
sure. Go ahead and like, which one are you starting at?
I don't know, whatever's closest.
I went to investigate.
Your license. Let me see your license.
So okay, Paul, we're about to get back to you because you're going to end up in the same place as Gildale at some point anyway, so we'll kind of cover a little bit of that together. And actually, Eden, you would end up probably in shade when you're doing
Yeah.
when you're getting the room anyway. So, Eden and Gildale, like, because of its proximity to the transit hub, the shade is the closest of the two. The most expensive of the two, but also this is a mining town, so like while goods are kind of pricey, the staying's pretty cheap because people are coming here and staying for a chunk of time, hoping to strike it rich. But there's nothing here otherwise. So while comparably expensive, it's pretty cheap in general. Um, but a very nice place. It is a little kitschy. Like they've got the kind of sorry draped ceilings with the lights kind of shining through and whatnot. Um, but there's a very pleasant incense in the air that's not like overwhelming. It's just kind of pleasantly fragrant. All of the all of the escorts. Well, uh, there are men and women, and they are well dressed and very clean and tidy people. Um, they don't seem to be overly pushy when you come in or anything like that. They're kind of sitting at different tables, just kind of waiting for people to approach them. And then there's the front desk that has like uh, the the information and checking in and all of that, and then the restaurants, or not really restaurant, but bar in the back, and the tables are kind of scattered through the room. So you do have to kind of walk through all of them to get to the bar, and then the check-in is kind of off to its own side over here. So,
You said
um,
two of them, two brothels.
yeah, this is the first one. It's the nicer of the two, arguably.
Okay. When I walk in, I'm gonna show my badge and say I wish to speak to the owner.
They don't really flinch here. The man behind the desk says, "Oh, actually, the owner is out of town right now. But
Who's running this place right now?
I'm the current manager in charge."
Okay, can we go talk in private?
Certainly. Just one moment, sir. Are you hoping for rooms?
I can wait.
Oh, very well. Okay. Yes. If you'd like, make yourself at home to one of the tables, and he just kind of like gestures specifically to the tables that have people sitting at them, and kind of looking at you. You can tell he's not really sure who to gesture to, so he just kind of like lands halfway in between one with a guy and one with a woman, and 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 just follows kind of waves Nate back to or not Nate Gildale back to a kind of room to the side where there's uh it almost looks like a conference room for lack of a better word. It's like a large dining room with a big table.
Okay. As we go in, I'm going to um, mutter some words and do a little hand gesture, and I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
He
Nate.
what's the DC on that?
I hope you're gonna cast Zone of Truth in a brothel. You're gonna learn a lot of things.
Let's see.
That's a natural 20. I'm not sure if it matters.
Nope.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, as you do this, he looks at you rather offended and is just like, "Excuse me. It's a little rude of you to do that without announcing your intentions first." Now, in all honesty, I'm fine with just if you really are. Can I examine your badge, sir? Like, just kind of.
Oh,
May I?
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
he
you can see
examines
it.
your credentials. He turns around and he actually does the same thing to you. Um, well, there we go now. And you really are Officer. What's your last name? I don't know.
Gandale is my last
Buzzkill.
name.
Oh, okay.
Officer Buzzkill.
Buzzkill. You really are Officer Gildale then.
That is correct.
All right. Then how about you tell me why you're here and asking me questions?
Well, I'm just passing through, and as I pass through, I have to uphold the law and just make sure you're up and up on everyone here, and make sure there's nothing funny going on.
Well, I have all of the paperwork for all of our employees if you would like to see them. You are more than welcome to ask them any questions that you wish. They are all here of their own free will and make decent money doing it. Um, I can give you our bookkeeping if you would care to. All of them are well paid. All of our employees in the kitchen and the bar are well paid. Beyond which, I think that is anything that you would need to know. Um, Also, might I recommend that you be a little more tactful in your other dealings in town and not go waving your hands at people. That's a good way to get yourself shot.
Very well. I will go through your records, and if everything checks out, I'll be on my way. We shouldn't have any problems.
Excellent. However, yes, do be significantly more careful elsewhere. Rookie behavior is not going to do well for you. And he kind of haughtily goes over towards the area where they keep the records and all of that, and gets the things that you would need, and has you actually out at the front going through them so that he can tend to business and look over your shoulder at the same time, because he does not trust you.
Fair enough.
All right. So he turns his attention to you, Eden.
So
What
when he
can I do
comes
for
back out, though, Eden has gone into full performer mode and has gotten. So he went into the table where he was gestured to go, in between the man and the woman, and he is getting them to dance with one another while he is playing.
Sure, roll me a persuasion. Or if you can argue something else, that's fine too.
I mean, persuasion or performance, it doesn't really matter, but 25.
Oh yeah. They're delighted that you're here, and kind of as as you encourage them, they're like, okay, this is fun, and play along and kind of get together and dance. What kind of music are you playing?
Probably pretty close to a polka, actually.
That was what I was imagining in my head. So like they kind of they start doing like the kid polka where they're just like kind of bouncing through the room and whatnot, and occasionally like one will split off and grab somebody else and do the same thing, and one of the other customers, like some of the other customers, they'll do that with and get them involved, and so it's a party. Um, it's not necessarily yielding coin for you, but it's become
Yeah,
a nice fun atmosphere. And
and it
the
makes Eden feel a whole lot less awkward. So,
What? He doesn't want to get a room in a brothel?
not particularly.
Can't imagine why.
Um, yeah, so that's what Eden's doing when he comes out.
All right. He doesn't seem to mind. I mean, the patrons are having a good time, so he's fine with this and just kind of like smiles and claps along with the music and waits for you to get to a point that you're ready to talk to him.
So eventually Eden will sort of he'll cut in on somebody's dance and then he'll finish up and then he'll step over and say, I just needed to see if I could get a couple of rooms for the evening.
Yes, two?
He's to like count. He'll sort of throw a look over at Gil and then keep counting. let's say four rooms?
4 rooms. Single beds, I presume?
Sure.
There are some with double beds, but yes, we
Single's
can arrange that.
fine.
Okay.
Single is fine.
All right. We can do that for you. That will end up being okay. So I had to think about that. That's for nope, wrong, Danny. That'll be 2 gold and 4 silver.
Okay. He'll hand it over and let me subtract that from our here.
Do you require any evening services?
Uh, food.
Food? We can bring it to you if you would like. You could eat it down here if you like. Whichever you prefer. If you go to an empty table, you won't be bothered.
Oh, I, I have someone meeting me. It's
I love how incredibly awkward he is. Like he's at a brothel, and he's being awkward.
it's sort of a new relationship thing.
Huh.
Anyway,
I frankly don't care.
no, it's not that you would care or that it's actually pertinent. It's just I'm gonna stop talking. That's
It's
not
probably
usually my thing. I
It's fine.
talk a lot, and anyway,
Apparently, there are days that you should have off from this. That's fine.
yeah.
But we're happy to deliver you food if you need food. You are also welcome to come down to the serving area if you would like. But yes, if you require anything, you can just notify the desk and we'll bring whatever you need up to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm sorry if I caused a disturbance. I started playing, and I thought that everyone could
Delightful.
use a dance, but
They're having fun. The customers are having fun. I'm perfectly okay with this. Are
okay.
you done, sir? He kind of turns to to Gildale. Everything in order, which it is.
Yeah, everything has to be in order. I think we're good here.
Excellent.
Is he bothering you?
Um, he cast a spell on me without my consent, and I don't appreciate that.
Hmm. Noted.
Noted.
So, for future reference, don't do that anywhere else. But if everything seems to be in order, I will see you later, sir.
I will be back later. Thank you for your time. And
Thank
if
you for your-
Gil leaves, Eden's just gonna follow him.
Head over to the other one.
All right.
My hip just popped.
Oh no. So we've got now we've got like a good chunk of the party over in the gallows. So Paul, while they're working out their stuff in the other place, what are you getting into? You're
I'm getting into
drinking.
some alcohol.
Excellent, excellent. There are also there are a plethora of people of the night. Kind of these are a little bit more aggressive. They're not waiting for people to come to them. They'll come up to you and flirt and things like that while you're drinking. Not sure if you respond to them or not.
I mean,
But
if they talk to me, I'll respond. They might not like my response.
fair
But
enough. I mean, they're being actively charming. But so they're not saying anything super aggressive or anything like that, just trying to schmooze with you.
sure.
I don't know if you're abundantly schmoozable as Paul or if you
I'm not abundantly schmoozable, but I've been in my fair share of brothels. I know
gotcha.
what's going on. I'm not, unfamiliar with this environment.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, unless you actually take any of them up on it, you're just drinking and doing your thing.
the
There
only I would say that if there is most of them that would come up to me, I would say I'll give you a gold piece to just leave me alone. But
they will take you
the
up on that.
but if there is like one that is particularly like built like a brick shit house, basically, like Paul would probably be like, yeah, well, I could go for a tumble in the hay with you. So
That's amazing. I mean, I
if
feel
there's
like
like an orc, woman there who's like built and muscular,
You're a
like,
gnome.
yeah, yeah, I know exactly what Paul is.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like you could probably find that there. But yeah, you're getting schnockered, and there are also a couple of bar fights that are
Oh, I'm
currently
in it.
sort of awesome, awesome. So there
That's
is
when he
a
meets Brunhilde
what.
in the bar fight.
That's
I'm in it
actually what I
too.
was just thinking. There is actually a half orc woman that is that figure that is currently just like waylaying some guy that you're not totally sure the story on this, but it's quite the scene over in the corner. Um,
Hey,
he's exchanging his fair share of licks too here, but yeah, she's giving him a real good jaw work out there. That sounded stranger than I meant for it to, but that's fine.
Give him a real good jaw workout.
You know, it could be how this started. I'm not sure. Don't know why they're fighting, but they're fighting. Uh, so yeah. Um, if you would like to interject yourself into that situation, you go
yeah, if
right
there's a
ahead.
fight going on, I want to fight. So I just literally jump in and like punch the closest person in the proximity.
Cool. Where's your initiative roll? Go ahead and roll me an initiative.
Um,
That sucked for both of them.
18.
Yeah. Okay, so you get first move once you know what's going on and you're diving into the middle. It's all yours.
Yeah, so I down my tankard or whatever I'm drinking, throw it across the bar, and just dive right in. And I go to headbutt the first groin I see.
Let me just
Paul fights dirty.
it's it's the half orc woman. Roll your attack.
Uh, that would be 24.
Definitely hits.
So I don't know how you would do headbutt damage, but
Improvised weapon?
improvised weapon. So would that just be my strength then, right?
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
so
how that works.
that would be 5.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna do non-lethal.
Yeah. I'm not trying to kill
I'm
anything.
trying
Bar
to
fight.
kill her.
I'm just trying to. There's a bar fight, and I want to get involved and throw some punches and some headbutts.
That's
So yeah,
amazing.
Lethal groin headbutt.
I've got a second attack. So does she happen to bowl over a little bit from the
Yes.
impact? So
Yes, she
after
does.
I headbutt the first time, I use the momentum to whip my head back up, and with the back of my head, I'm going to try to bash in her head.
Go for it.
Yeah. That is a 19. Sorry, 18.
19. 18 actually won't hit because she's got her armor on. So you managed to get underneath that skirting that first time, but this time not quite there. So yeah, you feel the connection, but it just doesn't land quite the way that you thought that it would.
Sure.
Yeah, awesome. That's epic. Okay. Where'd my dice go? There it is. Let's see how he does in seeing this. Well, okay, so he looks and sees this gnome out of nowhere just absolutely headbutt the crap out of this woman's groin and thinks, oh wow, he's on my side, and is incredibly enthused about this. Reaches over and grabs her and tries to swing, but he's real drunk and he misses. Oh, the second one hits though. Clocks her in the jaw really solidly. But she just kind of her eyes flare red and she just kind of flicks her head back to him, just angry now from the groin hit and now the jaw clack. So yeah, she's got a little bit of a busted lip going. There's something weird about her face though that would imply that while she really did not like that, she's probably going to really enjoy the fight that happens next. So for her, oh, these are both good. So does a 19 hit you?
Oh yeah.
So with her knee, she is just gonna lift up really forcefully into it would normally be someone's gut, but for you, just gets you right in the under the jaw.
Sure.
And that is gonna be that's gonna be 5 points of damage. I'm just not gonna bother with the little add-ons and stuff because that's gonna be too much of a pain in my butt. And then oh, I already rolled the other one, which also is a hit. And with him, since he's got a hold of her by the armor side, she's just gonna that number is it 7? The lift up an elbow.
Oh yeah.
So, what? Bam! Right in the face. And that's gonna you can see it just you can hear the crunch of his nose when she crosses his face with it. About this time, you guys walk in and kind of see this from across the way. There's a little bit of a circle going on. You can't see Paul through all the people, but you can see the top of the head of the half-orc woman. Well, actually, you can see her full face, and you can see the top of this other fellow's head. Kind of looks like he might be like a half-elf or something like that. And yeah, Paul, back to you.
After getting hit in the jaw or the chin, I'm going to turn to the other guy and go to attack him. So my first attack, that would be a 15 to the guy.
Yeah, that'll hit him.
Okay. So I'm going to basically come around and I'm going to use my fist to punch into the side of his kneecap.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
My goal is to bring him down closer to my level.
Yeah.
And then second attack, natural 20.
Woo-hoo! Same thing, just bringing him down.
No, so once I hit him in the kneecap and get him a little bit
Get him
lower, I'm
down.
going to grab him by the ears. And I'm just going to full on him right into his nose.
Nice.
So,
That's fabulous.
so yeah, I don't roll dice because I'm just doing my strength modifier, so I'm not going to get any extra damage on it. But that'll
Yeah,
be
that's fine.
5 points for each hit.
That's amazing, and that would be the double uh for the uh for the nat 20. He looks real dazed right now. Like he's not all together with it. Um she she smiles at this and is just like, "Ha! Playing both sides. I respect that." And just reaches out and oh, she the odd arrangement of you being between her and the other guy makes it kind of clumsy, so she misses her first hit on him. Oh, but the second one hits real solid, and she clacks him with another elbow. Um and he kind of spins. You can tell he's almost out. Uh and he is actually incapacitated at the moment because he is dazed by this flurry of hits that he's gotten, so it actually bounces back to you.
Well, after I've taken 2 hits on him, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to put a boot in her gut.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
Is this how Paul flirts?
Maybe.
We'll find
yeah.
out.
So, yeah, so that impacts. And
Yeah,
then,
that's all right. What's your do you take another one with her, or do you hit him again? Put him
yeah, I'm
down.
gonna put the boot in her gut, and then when I bring it back down, I'm just gonna go for an uppercut back into her gut to try to go for the same tender spot.
Nice.
And oh man, I rolled crap on that one. That's not gonna hit. That's a 13.
Yeah, no. That's yeah. You feel it strike, but it doesn't actually. There's like she just kind of looks at you and grins, like and laughs. And she will hit you with the first, and that will hit. That's gonna be above a 20 if there's anything added. So that would be like a 19 natural. So with that, she will also end up doing. Oh, I like the strength modifier thing. We'll just roll with that. Like that just is easier. So 5. 5 to you, and then she's gonna turn around with the other guy because he's so close to being out anyway, and just bam, and you see his head go, huh! just drops on the floor. And so yeah, that brings it back to you. You guys, if you are paying close enough attention to what is happening to want to intervene, you may. If you would prefer not to, that is also okay.
Even
But
if I see it's Paul, he's gonna stay out of it.
it's like, nope. So yeah, Paul.
Well, I go to turn around to go strike the other guy and then see that he is down. So I'm gonna just kick him just once.
Kick him while he's down.
Just kick him once while he's down.
Solid
Yeah.
kick. Great.
Yeah, just a good solid kick. Nothing to cause any major damage, but
Yep.
enough that I'm little bruised.
Little
Then
insult
I'm
to
gonna
injury.
turn back around and I'm gonna look at the orc, and I'm just gonna do a grin and be like, "We going some more? Like, what's the deal here?"
She's gonna like lift her eyebrows and be like, you wanna?
I swing. 24.
That'll definitely hit.
Yeah. So yeah, I just go for a swing right to the face.
Yeah, that'll do. She's still looking pretty good. Like she's getting some bloody lips. The nose is starting to trickle just a little bit, and she looks like she's enjoying this way too much. And was that 2 hits? Was that just 1?
That's just 1 hit because I hit the other guy.
Oh, that's right. You kicked him.
Yeah. So that'll be 5 points.
Yep. And that's going to be a 21.
Yep, that'll hit.
Just going to keep trading licks. Oh, that one's going to miss. So she goes in for one and then tries to, it's like a jab cross. And the jab strikes pretty solid. The cross, you just managed to get out of the way soon enough. So it's just the one hit.
Okay, I'm gonna run between her legs to get behind her, and then I'm gonna kick her in the back of the knee to try to drive her to the ground. And that's gonna be a 23.
That'll hit.
Okay, and then I'm gonna then try to grab her arm. And I'm gonna try to grapple her and get her arm behind her back, so that way she's grappled underneath me.
All right,
Or
grapple
on her
check
knees.
it. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh god, I rolled so bad.
This one was good for
13.
her. It was 13?
13.
13? Yeah, hers is a 21. So she is going to take, as you start to try and grapple her, she's gonna just use her massive arm and kind of like wrap you around her and get you into a grapple.
Okay.
And kind of hold you, I guess, supine onto the floor, kind of in a I guess almost a guard sort of a situation. So yeah, that's awesome. Oh, and then she's gonna hit you pretty solidly with an elbow.
There you go.
And then again, so she's gonna give you two elbows before she curls back up around you, which is absurd to look because like you're so small in comparison. So her curling up around you is like you just are enveloped in half orcs.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, you might be into it. I don't know.
Hey, you
Kind of
never know.
seems like a thing
So-
Paul would enjoy.
So I'm gonna shrimp out to the side to try to get out from under this. And if I can break free, my plan is to get the back of her head and slam her head into the ground.
Nice. Go
So
for it.
just another athletics trick to
Yep.
break the grapple.
Opposed. Oh, you might have
That's
this one.
a 19.
You beat me on this one, yeah.
Okay, so I get out of that, and then I grab the back of her head, and I'm just going to try to slam it into the ground. That's oh, come on. Yeah, no, didn't work. I rolled a 5 and a 3, so yeah, didn't get it.
Yeah, you managed to kind of like slide out from the grapple, but then like trying to get your arm into a good position to do that. You just both times she just and there's nothing. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Keith. So she will nat 20 to grapple you again.
Oh god! All right, let me see if I can break free. No, I'm grappled again.
Yep. She's just gonna like look at you as she's got you grappled and be like, "You owe me a drink," and then like headbutt you. Oh, that's a really good headbutt. That sounds like a 25. Oh, but the second one misses, I think, unless 14 doesn't hit you, right?
14 does not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah. So yeah, she gets you in that grapple and just bam. Oh, although the second one wouldn't have gone anyway. She wouldn't have had the second strike because she grappled you with her first thing. So,
Sure,
yeah.
She would have got me on that strike anyway because she grappled first and then did the strike that did hit. So
just like headbutts you really firmly.
Like I spit blood. Be like, darling, I'll buy you all the drinks you want, and then I'll headbutt her back.
Excellent.
I'm blown like crap.
Change your dice.
Okay, this is the only one I got. But I do on that other one. I got 23.
Yep, that'll get it. So she, like, you smack her and you can kind of see her eyes starting to cloud over a little bit and roll. But she's still got that, like, dumb grin on her face and kind of, like, has to prop herself on her elbow in the grapple to stay like upright. So she's gonna try. She's gonna be disadvantaged this time because she's almost out. Oh yeah, she kind of and it's just a whiff. Yeah, and that one is too. Like uh, she kind of and you can tell that she's like seeing double, and she keeps punching the floor because she's not looking at the right Paul.
I'm gonna try to get out of her grapple one more time.
You might just make it.
Nope, I didn't. I rolled a 10.
Yeah. She's still grappling you. She's not very good at hitting you right now, but she's still got you.
So instead of taking any attack, I'm just gonna get ready to defend any attack she does take, and try to break the grapple again in the next round.
So dodge action so that you have advantage.
All right, so she will try and swing again. Oh. That wouldn't have mattered if I had disadvantage on that one. That sucks. Yeah. So I don't think either one of those will hit. Yeah, neither one of those will hit. So yeah, she's just and like one of them was really hard but missed. And like and then she tries to hit the second time and just like totally miscalculates the distance of her elbow to your face.
Okay, I'm gonna try to break free again. Okay, there we go. 24.
Yep, that'll do it.
So with that, I'm then gonna try to grab, basically grab her leg and put it into it, like twist her leg to try to get her to tap out.
All right.
So,
Good
would
deal.
that be just a grapple?
Yeah, I think that would be where. There we go. I don't know where it went. I had it and then I lost it. Oh, it's way over there. Never mind. Oh. I dare say you probably beat her.
I got a 20, so.
Oh yes. Oh yes. She got a 7.
Yeah. So I'm putting her in that lock to get her to tap out. So since she's almost done.
It takes her probably a little bit longer than it should because she's inebriated to actually feel that you're getting her there. And she's just like, ow! Ow!
And as soon as she breaks, I release and literally just fall back on my ass and just start laughing.
She does the same thing. She's like still can't see straight. She's looking a little bit to the left of you. And she's just like cracking up. So yeah.
Oh, I hear Paul.
So that's a thing that you guys walk in on. There's
then when I do stand up, I go to the bar and I see I put down a bunch of gold coins and was like, I need a bottle of whiskey, a room, and health potions if you have them.
It's gonna be a fun night for Paul. So he doesn't have health potions. That's not really what they do here. But he does give you the other stuff, and then a little bit of change.
So, and then then I go up to her and I hand her one of my health potions. I down the other one and I was like, "Let's go."
Are these the weird health potions, or are these just like the normal health potions?
Normal health potions.
Oh, dang it.
So y'all are just gonna go have fun.
Yeah.
She's all for that. So your gnome compatriot disappears into the in-room area with this big half-orc woman. It's great. So yeah, what are you doing there? Wrong name. Gildale? Other than laughing at Paul.
Taking notes.
Can't hear you, Nate.
Yeah, I think you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk to the center and say, all right, break it up, go back to your business.
Let's hurry over.
The master of timing.
Yeah. and I'm gonna go look for the owner.
All right.
Is just gonna follow him. He's just keeping a small distance between them.
So the barkeep will be like, "Yeah, we can get that owner down here if you want to. I mean, they're pretty busy, but I can get them in here if you wanna." Joe just like bellows and like from the upstairs, this like big Goliath starts like comes down. Yeah, what do you want?
My name's Gildale, and I'll show him my badge. I'm just passing through town, and just make sure business is on the up and up with the law, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we're up and up on the law.
Do you mind if I check your records and look around for a little bit?
If you can find them, you can check them.
Do you mind if I go up to your office and look around then?
Sure, might be a couple people in there, but as long as you're all right with it, they probably are too.
Alrighty. I will
Yeah.
go up to his office.
Why are all these records so wet? Ah!
Wet, not yours. Don't touch it.
If you don't know why it's wet, don't touch it.
Roll me an investigation check, Nate.
Oh, geez. 16.
All right. So in the office, there's actually nothing untoward happening. It's just, like there's a lady up there kind of doing some of her own bookkeeping for her own stuff, and there's it kind of looks like somebody in a managerial position, dressed very differently, who's kind of going through a checklist of to do things. So there's nothing really like you kind of get the impression that maybe he was just messing with you. But it's pretty easy. Like actually, he's got his records there pretty easily lined out. You can tell there's some sloppy numbers here and there, stuff like that. But for the most part, everything looks like it's on the up and up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go back down, and since business is over, I'm gonna have a drink.
There you
So
go.
you walk past Eden, who was just sort of like peeking in the door at you.
Yeah, the two people that were in there just kind of like they look at you really funny, but since you don't take anything from the office, they don't stop you. It's just like okay.
Okay.
They give Eden a little bit of a strange look when he's peering in. It's like, what's going on?
Hello.
As I pass by Eden, and say, Eden, is it? Would you care to join me for a drink?
Making sure it's open.
No, thank you. I
Huh?
have company coming into town. I should probably go look. I just wanted to. Who are you really?
I told you I am. My name's Gildan. I'm a man of the law.
Okay. Why are you really here?
So, well, if you'd like to have a drink, I'll tell you all about it.
Like I said, I have company coming in, so if you want to take your drink to go, sure.
You want me to come with you with your company?
I mean, she's got to meet Paul. If Paul hasn't scared her off already, I think we're okay.
I would feel a little awkward. Uh,
So with you,
you know,
so the awkwardness that you saw from Eden earlier is all gone.
okay.
It's just Paul. He's only nervous about Paul.
So I don't know. Listen, I don't want to intrude on your night out with your friend or company, whoever's coming in.
She would be, I assume, we haven't really talked about titles, but essentially a girlfriend. And you will not be intruding that much. I want to know more why you're here. That to me is important. Unless you are evading me, in which case we can talk later.
Well, if you got your girlfriend coming in, then don't let me get in the way. I mean,
You will
we'll have
not
plenty
be
of
in
time
the
to talk.
way. You. Oh, plenty of time to talk. See, we're getting some information that I did not have before. Are you planning on just like following us? Or what? Like, what's the deal?
Okay. So, long story short, I'm actually investigating, and I'm trying to track someone down. And it just so happens that the leads I got is on the same path as you and your companions.
Who are you trying to track down?
Well, if you must know, I am
I
actually
do.
trying to track down your former companion, Pyron.
Oh, well, in that case, um, well, why does Pyron interest you?
Well, it seems that wherever he goes, trouble seems to follow.
I mean, you could say that of Paul too.
Well, true, but no, the stories about Pyron, and from what I've been told, it's is leading up to something pretty big, and it needs to be stopped.
So I'm gonna actually retcon a little bit of this, Nate, because there's
Yeah.
some Nate knowledge here that is not character knowledge. You
Okay.
yeah, like you know what's going on. He like the person that is suspicious in this kind of ends up accidentally being Eden, because Eden's the one that keeps performing and everybody sees him in these places shortly before these other murders have happened. Um, but you don't actually have a Pyron attachment. So that's why you're following these guys. Sorry. Like, I should have
Okay.
clarified that earlier, but I was like, I don't know where he's going with this, and I might still be able to use it. But yeah, you don't actually have the Pyron connection. That's a Nate thing. So, spoiler alert, guys, sorry.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Um, so yeah, I like I said, there's been a string of murders and a lot of bad things happening, and it I don't know, it just seems where you guys go, and I'm just following the trail really, and just happen to be coming through the same way.
Okay. So you think that we have committed these murders? Like Paul, maybe? Because I would kind of understand if that's what you thought, but we do actually keep a relatively close eye on Paul, and he is not culpable for any murders that I am aware of.
Well, he did say he caused a lot of dead bodies.
Yes, he was a soldier in a war. That is what happens, yes.
Oh, so he's talking about the war then. Okay, well, let's see why he wouldn't have specified that, but
I mean, you've met him. It's not really his thing to be ultra specific, especially if he doesn't know you. You could ask him some
I see.
stories. He could tell you stories about his wartime exploits. He was, from what I understand, quite the soldier.
Well, I
Does
tried
that
to talk
clear
to him
things up?
earlier, but he seemed very distant and not wanting to talk. So I don't know. I
That's
was a bit
just
unsure about him.
that's just Paul.
Well,
Um,
maybe I'll buy him a drink and see if he can loosen up a little bit.
by all means. Does that all strike true to Eden?
Roll me an insight check.
It's not one of Eden's strong suits.
I mean, he had to have a few that weren't perfect, right?
Yeah. So that's a 4.
Oh wow. Oh, he thinks all of this is just one gigantic lie. He does not
Okay.
trust any of this at all.
Okay, so when you're ready to stop the bullshit part of things, then please, by all means, talk to me. Until then, you should probably only be in sight of the companions of mine when I can also see you, because I will want to keep an eye on you until you are willing to be upfront with me. Good day, sir.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And Eden's walking away.
All right.
Think the zone of truth is gonna come in handy.
Yeah. Teffin and Thea, anything going on with you guys? Is Teffin just doing his inventing thing? I
Yeah,
can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
yeah, mainly just doing the inventing thing and working, and then since everyone seems to have disappeared, I will I will tend to Quimby and then get in the cart, lock the door behind me, and find my way to my basin.
Where are you parking the cart? Because I don't think, at least as of yet, Eden has not given you the location of where the gaggle is staying.
Yeah, so I'm
I
just
mean, you could
gonna
also just ask where the most expensive hotel was.
so
That's
I'm
where
just
he would
gonna
be.
find a spot like off to the edge of the landing area, towards town, but sort of out of the way. Maybe an empty lot somewhere or something, just off the main street.
Roll me a perception check.
It's a 12.
12. Okay. You can tell that people are most of the places that you are seeing are built up on a kind of more rocky area than sandy. Um, a lot of the areas that you would identify as clear, like broad clear spaces, are kind of sandy. There are some that are on the rock. You can do with that information what you wish to as far as setting up your cart there.
You're gonna get eaten by the dune sandworms.
Maybe. Might not be a sandworm. There might be something.
Should we walk without rhythm?
Boom.
Are
Boom.
we?
Boom.
Is everybody
Um,
going?
Well, we're finding a place to
what's
park.
what's the closest empty spot to put the wagon?
Well, I mean, the closest empty spot is going to be the road. But as far as blank space, there would be a place kind of it's a gross space, but it's behind the landing bar. The landing
That
bar itself isn't too bad, but the area behind it's not great. It's
I mean, it's not.
Come on, Keith. Let's get some initiative rolling.
I've still got time in the day, so I might be a little bit more picky about a spot.
Fair.
I might find one of the stony spots that's clear
okay.
to
And you can.
to find a to put the cart for the night.
Yeah, you can do that. All right.
And
So
then I'll
yeah.
just once that's settled, once Quimby is settled and tended to, I'll go get in the cart, lock the door behind me, and find my basin.
All right. Probably at some point in the evening, you would, while you're doing your other stuff, you would see Eden walk back by. You can kind of hear from a distance this strange whirring sound. and there are like two large kind of, it looks like discs that look sort of brassy that are rolling through town pretty quickly. Um, and on the inside, you can kind of see like somebody is steering and someone is behind, coming in through town and parking in the landing area. And these big, like, vertical frisbee looking situations that just kick up sand behind. And once they roll up on the stone, um, it's a pretty easy transition up to the stone, and it's just nice and smooth. Um, and from that, I don't know, like, Eden, are you just kind of waiting until she gets there, close by to the landing?
I mean, he'd be writing in his little notepad, trying to see when she was going to get there. But if she didn't answer, he would just head for the landing.
Yeah. She would probably find it kind of difficult to answer, given the mode of transportation that she is currently in. Um, so after a little while, you see these kind of frisbee-ish things coming up into up through the main drag of town, which is just effectively one big street, and pull off into the landing to pause, and it just kind of stays one big flat disc, and the sides kind of come up, kind of unfolding almost like it lays down almost like armadillo armor, and so like it pulls up kind of like a garage door almost. Um, and out steps a pink tiefling with a broad, kind of piratey looking hat. Uh, and she looks a little bit disoriented. It takes her a second because she's kind of looking off into the desert at first, and then has to kind of get her bearings as she turns around, and sees you waiting there, and just gives a big toothy grin, and then kind of looks around awkwardly as if asking permission almost to go up and give you a hug. Like just sort of waiting a
So
little
he'll
strangely.
he'll step up and just pick her up in a big bear hug.
She'll like giggle a little bit and, hello, it is so good to see you again, my love.
It's good to see you too. Shall we go find somewhere less hot and sweaty and gross to talk?
You found a place like this? Because frankly, here it's surprising.
I mean, more or less.
Fair
It
enough.
has a weird, like, foam Moroccan vibe, but it is what it is, I suppose.
It's fine. I'm comfortable enough with that. It's the company anyway that's the most important thing. I am surprised your friends are not here.
Well, I think Paul is currently bedding someone twice his size. And
Good for him.
let's see. Thea, I actually haven't seen since we got here. I hope he'll get on the earring. Thea, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just walking back from the temple. I was coming back to where we all kind of parted ways. I was gonna see what everybody else was up to.
Well, I have rooms for us for tonight. Sela has arrived, and we can all meet at the shade if that is all right.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Are the others with you?
No, I think Paul is in the seedy part of town still. At least the last time I saw him, he was like making eyes at a half-orc woman. So there's that.
That tracks. Okay.
um, our guest, the one who for some reason came with us. There's something weird about him. I'd like to keep him uh insight if we can manage it, but anyway, I have rooms for everyone for tonight at the shade. Um, I'll let everyone know on the open channel. And hello, everybody. We have rooms at the shade.
Just imagine Paul in the middle. Sorry, carry on.
That would be it. And he'll lead Zila back to the shade.
Doesn't
Does Tevin respond?
Yeah.
Probably not, because he's already sort of in his. I was just remembering. Doesn't Paul have the Prince Albert?
Yep. No, that was
No, it was
Pyron.
Pirate.
Was that Pyron? Okay, I remembered somebody had one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, I forgot about that. Oh goodness. Um, so so yeah, she'll just kind of smile at you and be like, "Lead on, handsome."
He'll offer her an arm and walk her to the shade.
And she will happily accompany and meet up with the rest of yous. Um, so, yeah, there is a pretty pink tiefling who is eagerly awaiting to meet up with Eden's friends.
Who is basically Sealet right now. Or not, sorry. Basically
Thea.
Thea right now.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. She'll grin broadly, kind of like a sharp little thingy smile, uh, when she sees Thea. It's good to see you again. I know we didn't really talk very much before, but it's very pleasant to see you again.
Oh, it's good to see you too. Did you have a safe trip?
It was. I've never ridden in one of those things before. It was a little strange. A little dizzying, which is strange because you would not think, since you are not the one spinning. I don't know. It was odd. I have a gift for you. I
For me.
Yes, so it's just a bauble, nothing very special, but I thought of you because of the what is it? You write a lot. You notice strange things.
Mm-hmm.
So I got you this, and it's like a field guide to some of the stranger forested areas of the heartlands below you. Um, so there's all kinds of interesting images and things like that, and tells you like what's edible, what's not, what looks like it could be edible but then might eat you. Like all of this different
Comforting.
these different little bits and pieces, and it's like beautifully illustrated by a very good like watercolor kind of painter. And I understand you paint, so I thought that perhaps the illustrations would also be inspiring.
This is incredibly thoughtful. Thank you. I love it. I don't have anything to give you. I'm so sorry, but
I did not expect anything. It's fine. I would actually. I'm surprised. Well, maybe not surprised. It is lovely that you knew I was coming. So I did not expect anything. I just thought, hey, I'm intruding upon a group that already exists. I would like to make a good impression.
well, this is very kind, and I feel like we're gonna need all the help we can get. So I'm glad to have somebody else along.
I am happy to help. Oh, that reminds me. And she pulls out the instrument that she had told you about, that she had gotten for you, that had like the
Mhm.
little two thingerbobs. And I know it's not your bells, and the bells are far more important, but this could be fun. And hands you
Oh,
your
thank you.
little
And he'll
instrument.
actually reach into his bag and pull out a little gift wrapped box, the other piece of jewelry, and hand it to her.
And
And this
she'll,
is for you.
oh, you shouldn't have. I mean, we talked about this anyway, but thank you. And she takes it out, and I forget if it was the bracelet or the earrings.
I believe that Thea has the bracelet.
Okay. It's like, they're beautiful, and we'll kind of have you help her put them on.
Mhm.
And they do look very, very good on her. It was a good selection. Um, so speaking of needing help, do you have a plan for how you intend to shut down the mining?
No.
Any?
Uh, Without knowing much about it, it's a little difficult to say. I'm hopeful that with the proper encouragement to people in the higher ups, with the understanding that a god wants them to stop, that it will be a simple conversation.
I hope so.
Well, in the real world where that's absolutely not going to happen.
Yeah.
She's a realist. Now I know.
We have a letter that we need to deliver to someone out there, and I was going to try to use that as an excuse to kind of scout out the place and then formulate a plan from there.
That is a good idea. We can kind of just evaluate the situation and see what we think it would take. Maybe judge some of the personalities. Have some idea of what's what. Now, the mines in Orwen, they usually have many miners. Now, they might not have a lot of specific skills in combat or magic, but in numbers, they would definitely have us outnumbered. And I would not want to hurt anybody unless we had to.
No, certainly not. What I meant by application of force is like a lever. You use an application of force on the long end of the lever, and it moves bigger rocks than you could have done otherwise.
You see, like her eyes get wide and her head shifts a little bit. How big a lever could we make?
It probably depends on what we have to move.
What kind of thing could require a place to evacuate a mine?
I mean, there's lots of desert animals here, right? Big ones.
There are. So we create some kind of diversion. I'm sorry, I'm thinking too far ahead. But like it dawns on me if we create a diversion that would imply a need to evacuate. Perhaps quite literally the application of force, a lever, if you will. Perhaps we could collapse the whole place.
It'd have to be a good diversion, though, because I wouldn't want anyone to get, an innocent
Buried
person
alive.
buried
Yeah.
alive caught in
Yes,
there.
no. I would almost be tempted to say that we should maybe check through ourselves to make sure that it is clear before we did anything large. But also a sinkhole could happen after that, so I don't know. I want to see if we could find like a map of the mine or something to understand the scope of what could happen.
My
Mm-hmm.
saving money.
What's that?
What was that look?
Oh, that was a certain paper that we might be able to find. A paper with a map.
Ah.
Map would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking out loud. I apologize.
No.
Just, I suppose kicking things around in my skull.
Be careful. Do not kick things too hard. We would not want
Eh.
you to break it, though.
I am amused that you are more concerned about my toe than you are the fact that I am kicking it around in my skull.
I mean, how did you get your foot in there? That is my concern.
That is a valid question, and one that I am surprised you did not catch originally. She just kind of smiles and laughs. But I suppose we can think of this more on the way as well. Is there? Are you hungry, Thea? Shall we have dinner?
I am actually very tired from traveling, so I'm going to maybe see about going back to the room and I'll eat there.
Oh, here is a key. I have told them if there's anything you would like, just order it over there, and I will have it paid for.
Well, thank you very much. Have a good night, and I guess we'll head out in the morning.
Yes, I look forward to it. If you have any ideas between now and then, perhaps as we travel, we can. How are we traveling?
I believe Tefan is currently outfitting his cart and his horse to travel across the sands.
I might see about picking some things up for the horse to ensure that he is well the whole trip.
Oh.
Just it,
I could go with you if you are familiar with this town.
vaguely. I've been here once or twice, but not for very long. Just in passing. That's how I knew uh, a couple of the things, just logistics wise, to tell you, and that I could get here and pay for a driver. Uh, but yes, we can do that in the morning, though. That's you have had a long day of travel, as have I, in a very tight quarters with someone who needs more regular bathing. Um,
Uh, hmm, I'm
so
sorry.
it is what it is. I live on a ship with a bunch of people, some of whom are teenage boys. So you can only imagine. Sometimes the smell is amazing. Um,
Teenage boys are icky.
you are not wrong.
Oh, Tia, you're going to check on our young, not bug person, right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You were going to check on our not bug kid, right?
Yeah, I guess I can check on her. They said they might get her back by late tonight, possibly midday tomorrow.
Okay.
But let's test this spell out. I've never done it before.
Just in the off chance that she is home, or I would like to make sure she is safe too.
Sure. I think there's like a word limit on it.
25 words.
25 words. Okay. Let's see. Hi, Dill. It's your friend Thea. I wanted to check in on you, see if you've made it back with your dad. You can respond. Thanks.
It takes a couple of minutes because you can kind of there's a hesitation. Hi, Thea. I am most of the way back. I think they might be able to get me back before midnight tonight. So we'll be in pretty shortly, and my dad is really worried. So I'll be there soon. You're nice. And it just kind of ends there.
So she's not quite there yet, but she thinks she'll be back with her dad around midnight. So I'll check with her again in the morning just to make sure.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I'm gonna go order some food and then go to bed. I'm tired.
Sleep well, Thea.
Good night, Thea.
Good night.
Oh,
Shall we
right.
go find you a bath?
I would like that very much. And they do actually have room um bathing basins in here. They are not like big fancy tubs, but they are fancier than just the big like metal trough tubs. They're a little nicer than that. So yeah, you guys are able to kind of have an evening of it. not Pyron, wrong one. Gildale, where are you staying? Are you staying in the super seedy one? Or are you coming back to the shade?
There's a room for you at the shade, whether or not you are aware of it.
I'm not sure if he is.
Because he does not have one of the devices.
Yep, the earpieces or whatever.
I don't think we have one to give him.
Nope.
Can't hear you.
You're on mute.
You could give him calls.
Yeah, I can't talk. I would definitely go back to the shade, but because it's less seedy. But yeah, I wouldn't know I had a room available, so I'd probably get one myself.
The shade's just racking up the room charges tonight. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, especially so Teffin isn't in his room. Paul isn't in his room. Gil isn't in his room. So we have like 3 empty rooms. Or 2 empty rooms because Thea's in one.
Yeah. It's a real productive use of space. That's fine. That's fine. Paul's having a great time, so that's oh, I love it. All right. So everybody's able to do their evening things. And with it being 11:30 here, like after 12:30 there, do you guys want to call it there and pick up on
Yeah,
the
we'll
road
need
to
to call
Ormond?
it. I gotta finish up these ribs, and then we gotta
We gotta
get
be up early in the
up
morning.
early to head down
Ooh,
to
yuck.
Arkansas.
Yeah, we're doing kind of that too. We've got a my wife is going to go help dress my grandmother, so.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys need any help or anything over the weekend, let us know.
Will do.
And we will do whatever we can for you, so just to keep us posted.
Some sauce. Well, appreciate it, guys. A lot of fun.
Good. Did you enjoy your bar fight?
Yeah, no, it was just what the doctor ordered, I think. So.
Wonderful.
Oh, one thing I did want to do tonight,
Yes.
once I got back to the room, which I've got to go through my spells too, because I'm missing spells that I just found out about, so I've got to sort through all that. But can I change my familiar to be one of the bumblefuzzes? Like, not a big one, but like an owl-sized one?
Yeah. I love it. Yes, please.
Can I keep all the owl stats? Because I like having meaties for like scouting stuff out, but I just want him to be a bumblefuzz.
I love it. Do it. Absolutely. You will now have the cutest of familiars. I love it so much.
It's a little bumblefuzz.
Love it, love it, love it.
Do there now that there are 2 of the jewelry pieces in close proximity being worn, do they activate at all? I don't, because I don't actually remember what they did. I don't know that I knew what they did.
They're subtle magic, so yeah, I don't think that actually showed up for you.
I can't identify them, so
Yeah. I will actually handle that next time. I'll write myself a note and kind of decide how that presents itself for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, for the next session, and I'll write it sometime tomorrow to make sure that I don't forget to. So yeah, I will give that some thought because I was still kind of working my way through the idea of the subtle magic things. So I'll let you know. And
Cool.
and kind of it probably would.
They're magic.
They are.
Would I have? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, they are, but they're an incredibly subtle magic. So up against other things, like I'm playing with a different form of magic that is not like a full spell, a full enchantment, something like that, but almost like the encoding of a feeling that was left from a memory as its own kind of magic, sort of. So like it doesn't do anything huge mechanically or anything like that. It's a flavor thing, but it might give you little bits of insight here and there to the history of maybe the person that had it before, or events that happened in the world, something like that. Like, mainly to connect you to the place in history that has existed before.
Okay. Would I have noticed it when I cast Detect Magic earlier today?
Actually, possibly, but it would be super faint.
Okay.
It would not be necessarily something that you would have recognized as any of your specific schools of magic or anything like that. Just a really, really faint, almost imperceptible little fizz of brightness around it. So, like, you might have seen it, but not have been particularly concerned. It would almost look like if there had been a spell stored in it that had just gone off, and there's like that shadow of it still left, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'll think more about how I want that to actually work as far as like when you would actually engage with that that magic between now and the next time. Sounds good. Everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Always.